Oval. Pretty poor crowd, but conditions are beautiful for July wet winter footy. Here's Gus McLeod for A-grade oils and batteries.
Great to have your company in the grand final rematch. We're underway in the centre of the Normins. Bit of a scrappy start. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Pies for a high. And Dan Sharrock is already covered in mud and we played 17 seconds. He's got the footy true centre for the Wangaratta Magpies. Kicks them into attack. It's a nice looking kick and Clark marks between half forward and centre. Inside 50 go the Pies to the hot spot. Moore's the target. Too good. Had a really good leap at the footy, and Cal Moore will go back and have a set shot to kick the Magpies off today. 25 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, really good kick into the open space. Obviously, Ben Reid and his opponent were in a bit of a wrestle as well, so it allowed Cal Moore to have a nice run and jump at it. The big ruckman, Lockie Howe, was trying to get back into the hole and be able to create a contest, but just couldn't get there in time, and Cal Moore just able to come over the top and take a really nice mark early in the game.
Come out during the week in the Border Mail and said set shots are not his one wood. Well, he's got a chance to prove him wrong today. Cal Moore kicks the first goal of the contest. On the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard, the Pies lead one straight to the Pigeons yet to score. We played 1 minute in the big dance replay.
Yeah, really good start there from the Maggies. Obviously, good confidence for Cal Moore to get around, obviously, with Sharrock being able to find Jackson Clark. He probably got in a little bit too much space on the high half forward line there and able to take the uncontested mark and then put it into space for Cal Moore to run into as well and take a really nice, strong mark. His confidence to be flying high to start off this game.
What a start from Cal Moore, who's having an outstanding season once again. 36 goals in his last 6 games of football.
41 for the year.
41 for the year, coming off 7 goals last week against Wodonga. He's an absolute star, and there's a reason why he's a Did Simpson and Morris medalist. So that's the start the Wangaratta Magpies would have wanted. Lockie Howe fell down in the ruck. There's the mud. A beautiful tap from Knowles onto the running man, Clark, and the Pies are back inside 50 in the direction again of Moore. Reid down there. Worries his opponent out of it. Picked up by Moore. Fires off a hand pass to Porter. Good tackle from Frontfelder from the Pigeons, because Porter was just about to get a kick away. Comes out here to the half-back flank for the Magpies. Half-forward flank. Sharrock on the left foot, tight in the pocket. Kicks to the hot spot. Good fist down there from empty head Pendergast on Reid. Kelly was tackled hard, and the Pigeons clear through Harry Wheeler. In fact, it's a boundary throw-in.
Free kick, Panda.
It is. Who to? Freaky. Well picked up.
It looks like, I think maybe Matty Kelly might be the one that's getting the footy. I did not see.
It is Bader. I reckon he was tackled over the boundary line and may have been pushed in the back. So,
well, the kick, Panda, the umpire had the whistle straight away, so the kick could have perhaps bounced out of bounds on the full as well.
So Matt Kelly, not sure what he's like around the corner. He'll kick from 25 metres. Tied up against the boundary. This would be a brilliant start for the Maggies. He loves it. Matt Kelly with a steal line goal today, and the Wangaratta Magpies have kicked 2 in the first 3 minutes. 2 straight 12 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. The Pigeons yet to go in their own attacking half, and we've played only 3 minutes of the Macca's time clock.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, the Wangaratta had 3 inside 50s already to start this game inside the first 3 minutes and able to kick the 2 goals already from it. A couple of early touches for Dan Sharrock and Jackson Clark, so worrying signs early for the Yarrawonga Pigeons to allow some of the real A-graders for the Magpies to get a couple into the game nice and early with a few early touches.
So a hot start for the Pies. 2 straight to Yarra yet to score, Freaky.
And Dan Saunders has gone straight to Willie Wheeler in the first time he's been in the middle of the ground.
Great call from Brad Freak on the 40-wing stat sheet. Here's Wilson getting the Pigeons into attack for the first time today. Coming off the back was Grossman. He just kicked it back into the centre, and Lockie Howe got run into by 2 Wangaratta Magpies.
Sandwiched.
And we'll ball the footy up on the edge of the centre square, Freaky.
Yeah, first inside 50 for Yarrawonga there as well, just that quick hack kick forward, but no deep injuries so far for the Pigeons.
4 minutes gone for Macca's. McVeigh's over the footy. Sharrock shovels it out towards Clark, and the Pies are away. True centre wing broadcast side. Inside 50, Matty Kelly all alone. Dropped a sitter. He looked like Joe Root in the Ashes. Brought it to ground level. Porter's there for the Pies, wrapped up in a tackle by Bruce. Fronfelder got a lot of work to do on the last line of defence. He's poleaxed by Bader Kelly. And we'll ball the footy up at the top of the square. Joe Root, at your heart out, Pand.
Or Johnny Bairstow. Take your pick. None of them can catch it for the Poms. That was extraordinary from Kelly. He was all alone, 30 metres out directly in front. Still on a high from that snap around the corner. Stoppage inside 50. Pies forward 50. Irvine just jams it on the boot out of there for the Pigeons. Lands in the lap of Lee Masters. Who else? Half-forward flank, Ovens Riverside, likes an option inboard. Wasn't great, hung a long time in the air for Fothergill, and Barrett was able to fist. Comes out here to Ellis. Saunders just balks around Masters, gets on his left foot. Kicks to half forward, looking for Reed. Well done by empty head Pendergast, but his hand pass back was intercepted by Murray Waite. He runs inside 50. Hand pass hit the deck. Gets it back in a 1-2. Snaps in the pocket. It's goal bound. Cole Tyson for the Pigeons drops the chest mark over the boundary line. Dangerous signs here for the Pies. They're hot early. They lead 2 straight 12. Yarrawonga yet to score on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. It'll be tossed back in. Pies forward 50.
Looks like Lee Masters might be playing a bit more in a forward role today. Isn't in the defensive 50 at the moment as it is deep in the Yarrawonga defence.
So's Matt Casey, so they're going very tall in attack. Lockie Howe in the ruck. Yarrawonga have numbers. Bruce exits defensive 50, trying to get Conway his first look in Pigeons colours. Grossman shovels it back. Lee Williams is in the way. Throws a round arm, and the umpire says, give it here, boys, we'll ball it up.
That's UFC's tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Good card, and it's here at the Norm Inns.
2 straight the Pies, the Pigeons yet to score, thanks to Paulie's Corner. On O&M Live, we played 6 minutes in the first term. Clark dispossessed without the footy. And here goes Wiley for the visitors. Handball's inboard to Howe. Howe kicks inside forward 50. Falls the way of Williams. Gets around 1. Gets to Fothergill.
Oh.
Fothergill with all class. Steal on goal today. Worked his way around a telephone box and dribbled it through the big sticks. He's all class, Nick Fothergill. Kicks his 25th for the year.
Beautiful finish there by Nick Fothergill on his left foot. Really good, really well worked out as well by Lee Williams to get the hands out to him in a little bit of space. Drew his opponent into him and just got Fothergill into a little bit of space. Just touching on the Yarrawonga forward line, they're looking to try and get really tall today. They got Masters, Conway and Williams all down there at the moment, looking to really stretch the Wangaratta defence. And just looking across, there's not a massive defence either, the Magpies. Obviously, Van Berlo's probably the tallest of the lot down there.
That is some finish from Nick Fothergill on his opposite foot. He is a wonderful player, and we're privileged to be watching this small forward go to work in 2023. There's a whistle here. It's going to go the way the Wangaratta Magpies, maybe against Wiley for a trip.
It was a trip, yeah, Pandy.
So Jackson Clark, how many 40 winks so far, Brad Freak?
He's coming up for his 4th already.
Edge of defensive 50. He kicks out to the far flank. Knowles and Morey in a foot race. Not sure if Knowles-he's got him covered. Morey gets there first in the bright blonde, and the boundary line wins out. 60 around for the Maggies goal. 2 goals to them early through Moore and Kelly. Fothergill with 1 for the Pigeons. The Pies lead by 6 points. Sky Burgess, what's the wind like down the boundary for Waters?
There's not much of a breeze, guys. It's pretty still down here. I think, if anything, the mud is the issue. We've seen a few players slip over already, so I think that's going to be the challenge today, keeping your feet.
Sky, we'll get you to do some investigating work with the Yarrawonga bench and find out who's out of the lineup as Reed Clark comes in from the selected 22.
I can do that for you, boys.
8 minutes gone. First turn for A-grade oars and batteries. Ball's on the Ovens River side of the ground with Porter. Inboard towards Clark. His handball wasn't great. Einspawn left it, and Kelly comes through now for the Pies. He hacks it on the boot inside 50. Top of the square's the target. Beats the lot of them. Clark was there. Now Ben Reed. Now on to Murray Waite. Waite to Sharrock, and Sharrock to the big sticks. And he's hit the stick. From 10 metres out, directly in front. You'd expect the Morris Medal fancy to nail that one, Panda. A low blemish for the Magpies. 2-1-13 to Yarrawonga, 1 straight. Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Yeah, Dan Sharrock eats them for breakfast usually. He's become a goal kicker in the last couple of years as well. He's kicked 9 for the year. Would have expected that one for a sausage. Beautiful kick out of defence from the Pigeons. In the lap here of Morey. Here's a left foot kick. Beautiful one. Finds Conway. First possession in the Ovens and Murray. Comes out and meets it in the big Dukes. Right in the middle of the Norm Inns Oval. Good kick out wide. Finds Lee Williams. He's too far out to score. Outside defensive 50. Lowers the eyes going inboard looking for Einspawn. And that man Sharrock cleans up his mess. Intercepts and kicks to the middle of the ground. Finds Clark. Clark running inside forward 50. Looking for more. Brilliant football from the Wangaratta Magpies. Cole Tyson gave away a free kick, and Moore will line up 25 metres out slide angle.
Some of these prime ball winners for the Magpies are getting off the chain early. Jackson Clark up to 6 disposals. Dan Sharrock up to 5 already on the 40-wing stat sheet. And just beautiful ball movement there. Really good intercept mark by Dan Sharrock across the half-back line. Found Clark in space on the opposite side of the wing. Ran his full measure and hit. And then Cal Moore again took a really strong contested mark deep in the forward entry for the Magpies.
3 kicks, one end of the ground to the other. Cal Moore, 2 kicks, 2 goals. The Wangaratta Magpies are on fire early. They've got 3 goals, 3-1-19 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. The Pigeons 1 straight 6 as we tick up towards the 10-minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Opening quarter for A-grade oars and batteries.
One question, I guess, that we'd have to ask at the start of this game is how long will the Yarrawonga persist with Lee Masters playing in that forward 50 if the Wangaratta forward line are able to get off the chain a little bit? I mean, you don't want to get the lead too far out too early. Obviously, they've been able to play some good footy, but you might want your captain and your general in your back half to be able to lead up and be able to take one of these key roles for the Pigeons in this game.
We've also got Matt Casey, who we've seen at both ends of the ground early days, and they're going to have to try and stick with it, Freaky, or retreat and put Masters back.
Ned Pendergast has given a good few inches against Ben Reid down there at the moment, so that'll probably be one swap you think you could make.
10.5 gone. Macca's time clock in the first term. It's in the centre of the Norm Mins. Porter's there. Umpire should call for the footy and we'll ball this one up.
As usual, Gus, I didn't turn on my time clock, so we're using yours. Some things never change in O&M Live.
Death, taxes and Panda not turning the clock on. Welcome to O&M Live. Great to have your company for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Ooh,
Wilson got dumped in a big tackle. Reckon
McVeigh.
McVeigh might be a bit of strife there as Howe kicks out wide and he's got Masters on the Ovens River side of the ground. Can't quite gather. Grossman has a crack. Here's a go for Slim Shady Morey. Inside 50 with a grubber kick. Spills out of bounds and the Yarrawonga Pigeons can reset. We'll ball the footy in front of the can bar. 50 metres out from Pigeon goal.
Slim Shady, you're going to have to call Darcy Nelson Slim Shady. There's a few Slims out there, Gus.
Yeah, well, we can
I
be
like
consistent.
it. We can.
As Sky would say, you get them, girlfriend. That's what she said in
That's
the
what
pre-game.
she did say indeed. And here in our first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries, the Pies lead by 13 early. Howe done it beautifully out of the ruck, and then he got tackled without the ball. Surprised to not win a free kick there. Oh, Wiley with strength out of the stoppage. Spots up Williams beautifully. 35 metres out on a slight angle. Brilliant play from Wiley.
Yeah, just really good strength to be able to break through the tackle. He was almost holding the ball, but he just was able to break that tackle, and then Lee Williams playing in front. Just a nice little kick from Mark Wiley to hit him up, and this is right in his wheelhouse. You'd hope Lee Williams at times this year hasn't had his kicking boots on, but they'll need him on today for the Pigeons.
The Magpies defenders were torn there. Do we go to Conway or Williams? Allowed Williams to get free.
The battle of the big dogs here. Moore's kicked 2 early goals. Lee Williams now has 1 early one as well. Little mini shootout here at the moment. The Pigeons bite back. They go to 2 straight 12. The Pies are 3-1-19 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Moore has 2, and now Williams is on the board.
4 inside 50s for Yarrawonga on the 40-wing stat sheet to start this game for the 2 shots at goal and 2 goals. Wangaratta have had the 7 for 4 shots as well. So both teams been able to take full advantage, have pretty good effect when they do go inside forward 50 to start this game. Yarrawonga just need to get a little bit more ball in that forward half, and you think that they'll be able to hit the scoreboard a little bit more.
The Wayne Magpies full of praise for Dan Saunders as he come to the bench following Willie Wheeler. What's Willie's impact been on the 40-wing stat sheet?
Yeah, he's only had 1 touch at the moment, so he's been very quiet to start this game, Willie Wheeler.
Below par for his standards at the 13-minute mark. Here's Wiley. Head over the footy for the Pigeons. They're at centre-half back. And the umpire calls for the footy will have a restart.
And that's the respect that the Magpies have for Willie Wheeler as well. You got Wilson, Wiley, all in really good form. They want to stop him.
If the Yarrawonga Pigeons won the grand final last year, Panda, the Did Simpson would have gone to Willie Wheeler. In towards the centre of the ground, it's with Fothergill, and he's wrapped up in a big tackle. Superb defensive work from the Magpies. Umpire's not going to pay the advantage here. The free kick's going to go the way. Luke Saunders, it is, Panda. And he's got the footy on the edge of the centre circle.
Reversal. Wow.
Talk us through this one, Panda. I missed that.
I can't work out why that's a reversal also. Anyway, Fothergill has the ball for the Pigeons. His kick hangs a long time in the air, but it's marked there by Ryan Bruce. Too far out to score.
Masters is down, Panda.
Yeah, ordinary kick by Brian Bruce. He come in board looking for Wiley and turned the footy over, and the Magpies have transitioned up to half forward, looking for Juice Newton. Cole Tyson's there first. Just lackadaisically tries to pick up the football. Newton worries him out of it. Wants a free kick for deliberate. Not sure the umpire will favour you there, Juice. And after all that, we've got a 60-metre boundary throw-in out from the Wangaratta Magpies goal on the Ovens River side of the ground. They lead by 7 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe. We played 14 minutes in the Macca's time clock.
As the dark clouds start to loom over the Norm Mins Oval, 19 plays 20, favouring the Pies. Moore in the ruck, got it inside 50. Morey tracks this one. Will O'Keefe's there. Ellis got wrapped up in a big tackle by Whooper Irvine. And we'll ball it up right in front of the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. 14 and a half minutes gone for Macca's. It's been a really enjoyable first term between last year's grand finalists. Here's a go for Sharrock from a standing start. Threw it on the boot. Got it inside 50. Kyle Tyson got it onto Wiley, who's been racking up the 40 wings disposals. Exits defensive 50 up towards Masters. Couldn't bring it in on the second bite of the cherry. Grossman goes back, inboard towards Moore. busts away from the pack and kicks from 55. Top of the square, Reed. Good use of the body from empty head. Pendergast across the face for a minor score. The Magpies lead 3-2-20. Yarrawonga 2 straight for Paulie's Corner Cafe.
Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 9 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet. Tip 4 in favour of the Wangaratta Magpies to start this game, but only the 8-point lead to show for it at the moment, so they'd like to hit the scoreboard a little bit more.
Sky Burgess, boundary side for Waters. Have we worked out some of those Yarrawonga changes as well?
Yes, I have. Reed Clark has come in for Braden Coburn, who was out. He's got stitches in his finger.
There we go. Beautifully picked up down there by Sky Burgess. 6 or 7 layers on, keeping warm for Waters down there. Doing a wonderful job. Sharrock for the Pies. Beautiful kick. Always finds a teammate. This is Porter. Certainly not Diane. Plays around. Kicks on the boot. Long inside forward 50. Reed not able to mark down there. Almost gave away a free kick for in the back. This is good pressure here by the Magpies forwards. Casey, not sure he got a hand to that one. Under pressure. Morey. In fact, Melksham gave away a free kick for a high on that late inclusion, Reed Clark. And the Pigeons have a free kick in their own defensive 50. Under a fair bit of heat, they trail by 8 points. Still around halfway through this first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries.
Williams has worked his way up the ground. Can't get there. The
Wind.
kick from full-backs out of bounds on the full. And Sky for the Newmarket Hotel and our good friends at Waters. What's the wind starting to do at ground level?
It is actually blowing a gale down here. All the tents are
Magpies.
starting to take off a little bit. Blowing away from the netball court. So what do we call that right-hand side of the ground, boys?
The Evans Street end?
Yeah, it's definitely a strong breeze going that way.
Well, if you picture the Normins Oval, Panda, and the marquees that protect the players from the elements, well, there's 2 trainers holding them down. So if you get injured, you're going to have to fend for yourself. The trainers are keeping the marquees down.
Oh, we've seen some weird things on O&M Live, but it wouldn't put us past us to see a marquee just float onto the
You
ground.
wouldn't want to be broadcasting in a scaffold at Bunton Park today,
No,
Ken.
certainly not indeed. I think the Oak FM crew are there as well, so Gambo and the guys.
Good luck.
Absolutely. Marked here by the Pigeons at half-back. They go out wide looking for Conway, who did well to intercept there and rebound, but his kick's out of bounds on the full. It's a shocker. There's a free kick here to the Pies on the far Ovens River side of the ground, and you can see on O&M Optus TV the trees in the background. They're whistling around. There's certainly a fair breeze here at the Norm Inns. The Magpies through Saunders. Kicked a half forward, a beautiful intercept mark for the Pigeons through Whooper Irvine, who took 7 or 8 games to get going. He had a perforated bowel or something like that at the early start of the season. He goes long down the Ovens River side of the ground.
Big contest forms and it spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Brad Freak around the ground thanks to our good friends at Bingley.
Yeah, in the other games at the Ovens and Murray at the moment, all level 1 apiece at Wodonga and Raiders there. Lavington 5 points behind the Rovers, and Albury up by 14 points against North Albury.
Big shout out to Tommy McGrath and the team from 40 Winks. Brad Freak on the 40 Winks stat sheet this afternoon. Back into play. Casey's gone into the ruck. Kelly got high. And the umpire is not going to pay this one. He's going to ball the footy up. Just favouring true centre for Yarrawonga. The breeze really starting to pick up. It's more than a breeze. It's a gale force wind to the Evans Street end. The end in which the Magpies are kicking with 3-2-20 to 2 straight. Wangaratta lead in the first term thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. Bit of a scrimmage on the outer side, the Ovens River side. Well done there by Smith. Got the ball onto Ellis. And he kicks the Pies into attack, but his kick was poor. And I reckon that's the 4th or 5th out of bounds on the full on the Ovens River side of the ground, Freaky.
Yeah, there certainly has been a few out there. That wind's definitely playing havoc to them. Wangaratta's had 10 inside 50s with this breeze to 4, but only up by 8 points. I wonder how much of a factor this breeze is going to be throughout the game. You think the Maggies might have to take a little bit more advantage, because at the moment it looks like it's at least a 2 or 3 goal breeze that's going that direction.
3A's O&M Live. It's the Pies versus the Pigeons. The Pies by 8 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe. We haven't seen too much play on the broadcast side as well. Camped out there on the Ovens River side of the Norm Inns. Good contest there between Robinson and Porter. Porter just, in fact, there's a free kick here to the Pies. And it's going to go to Dane Porter. Too far out to score. 70 from home. Looks inboard for Vader Kelly. In fact, it was Melksham. It's a good intercept mark there by Slim Shady Morey up against the other Slim Shady. He comes out here towards Harry Wheeler. Still in his own D50 for the Pigeons. He kicks safe down the line. Look at the wind just hold up that football as well. Ryan Bruce was able to mark. Ryan, centre wing. Chips one to Morey in space. Good play here by the Pigeons. The Norm Inns corridor just opens up for him. Morey on his beautiful left foot kick. Inboard and a great intercept mark there by Cam Barrett, who's having an outstanding season for the Wangaratta Magpies, a Mawson's concrete player today, and he kicks to Warner.
Just not the kick going inside 50. 2 talls against 1 small. Here's Warner for the Pies. The boy from Benalla kicks inside 50. The kick's going to favour Juice Newton, but it gets to Moore first. Moore breaks away. He looks dangerous here. Callum Moore kicks it behind. He didn't even make much contact with the footy there, Panda, and it's almost gone onto Evans Street. Cal Moore, he's been very dangerous today. The Magpies 3-3-21. Yarrawonga 2 straight for Paulie's Corner Cafe. And Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters. We might lose you to the breeze.
I might blow away. I've got that many jackets on, one might fill up with air. We've got full rotations going on down here, boys. While they were over this side of the ground, everyone took advantage of it. We have had Dane Porter come off bleeding from the nose, so the trainer's just trying to get that under control now.
Just looking at that now, looks like he's got a bit of claret coming from the schnoz.
Not good on the white jersey.
No, but I tell you what, that would have happened a few times over that 300-game sparkling career from Dane Porter. It's like a fine wine. The Pigeons trail by 9 here, holding on a fair bit defensively. Inside 50 numbers, Freaky.
Yeah, 12 for the Magpies, only 5 for Yarrawonga at the moment in this game.
So owning the territory, the Pies. This is Will Robinson, made his debut in round 2 versus the Hoppers. Kicks down the far side of the Ovens River. Pack forms. It spills out of bounds for a throw. And I know what you two blokes are thinking.
One. There it is. Did you write that one down?
You know what you try and do? You try and pump up somebody in for only his second game. You try and I just get purged for it.
You could have just said he played start debut in round 2.
Yeah, I agree, Freaky.
Oh, well.
That's why you're number 1.
Boundary throw-in.
Knowles been good the last couple of weeks. He palms it on towards Clark. He left it behind. A bit of a scrimmage now on the outer side. Mark Wiley's been everywhere. He applies a big tackle. And Freaky on the 40-week stat sheet. Who's the leading possession getter on the ground at the moment?
No surprises there. Gussie Dan Sharrock's up to the 8 disposals already. Jackson Clark's had the 6 and Dane Porter's had 5 for the Wangaratta Magpies. 3, Mark Wiley's the leader at the moment for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
So ball up, true centre wing, far side. The Yarrawonga Pigeons kick themselves into attack. Fothergill's there, assisted by Masters and Saunders of the Luke variety. Happy to take him out of bounds for a boundary throw in 60 metres out from Yarra's goal.
He threw Luke to the ground and Dan came over and wanted to have a little bit of go there for Masters. So good to see the brothers have got each other's back out there at the moment.
So, boys, how much do you reckon Brisbane will beat West Coast by?
1,000.
Well, they're up by 33 at quarter time, and the Pies are going inside 50 again. Good fist there from Moore late on Matt Casey, who looked like he was going to take a defensive mark. Ball in dispute. Half back for the Pigeons. Empty head Pendergast just pumps it out of the defensive area. Really good kick as well. Finds Willie Wheeler, who's just given a little bit back here to Dan Saunders, who's tagging him. Wheeler plays on, chips it to half forward in the hands of Fothergill, who kicked a beautiful steel line goal today earlier. And now he's kicked inside 50 to find Lee Williams, who's marked deep in the pocket.
Just really good play there from the Pigeons. Just got a little bit of space, lowered the eyes, hit the short targets, and obviously went from Wheeler to Fothergill, then to Williams. When you get your best prime ball, when it uses in with the hand in a windy day like today, it's really good use of the footy and be able to hit the targets. Good play by the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
So Lee Williams lining up for goal number 2 would take an almighty drop punt from here. It's not even going to make the distance, just to show you how much it's holding up here in the wind, kicking to the club room side. And it's through for a minor score. And the scoreboard is now out. The scoreboard's out. This has happened a few times here at the Norm Minns Oval. It happened at the Derby. The Pies go to 3-3-21. Yarrawonga 2 straight 12. So we think it's a 9-point lead here for the Pies.
Maths never been our strong point, Panda, but we'll do our best to keep you up to date. True centre wing go the Pies, and it spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in front of Sky Burgess for Waters.
I've got it. Hold on.
It's a 40 winks disposal for Sky. Well done. Speaking of 40 winks, Brad Freak.
Yeah, as we touched on, 8 disposals for Dan Sharrock to start off with. They're to 6 inside 50s to 12, so doubling them at the moment, Magpies are, other than the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
24 minutes gone for Maccas. Calmore's gone into the ruck and McVeigh's left unattended at the back of the stoppage. He throws it on the left boot with a high up and under. Between half forward and centre. Einspawn got taken high. The Pigeons regather and they kick long down the line. Williams and Knowles, 50-50 battle. Good use of the body now by Anderson. He gets amongst the action as the Pies get it towards Clark. Clark kicks long in towards half forward. Contest forms. Reed gathers. Spills out the back and the Pigeons are away with Casey.
Casey looks inboard. It's a beautiful kick as well if it sits for Wilson, but Cam Barrett came off the line beautifully for the Pies. Here's Ryan Bruce lending a hand for the Pigeons. Wilson backtracks and lowers the eyes inboard, but it's not a great kick. Turned over. It's marked by Matt Bader-Kelly, who opens up the broadcast side beautifully, switches to Clark, 80 from home. He's got a teammate running in coverage here, and it's Liam McVeigh who marks. He might have the journey here. He's going to have the wind behind him.
He likes it, man.
He's a left footer, and I reckon he's going to arc around here, Freaky, and launch this every bit of 55 metres.
Yeah, well, we've seen the ball, especially at this end of the ground, carry that extra 4 or 5 metres, so he's well within range, you would think, at the moment.
So Liam McVeigh will kick from 55 metres. Gives it an almighty roost, and it's almighty there. A wonderful finish from Liam McVeigh. A steel line goal today. He backed in his ability to get the long leg. The wind took it beautifully. And the Pies, they kicked their fourth.
Well, they needed that one there, the Maggies. They've just absolutely dominated this first quarter, really. They've had all the forward play. They're up to 14 inside 50s to 6. They just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. They really need to take full advantage of it while they can. As we touched on, Jackson Clark's now up to the 8 disposals, as well as Dan Sharrock in this first quarter. Bailey Frontfelder hasn't touched the footy yet for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They really need his run off halfback, but probably running and carrying the ball into the breeze is probably not going to be his game at the moment. Look to see him come more into it in the next quarter.
4-3-27 the Pies, the Pigeons 2-1-13 for Paulie's Corner Cafe. Back in the centre of the Norm Mins. Good use of the body by McVeigh. He gets it onto Big Nosey. Nosey inside 50, not the best delivery to the coach. Reed can't quite gather. Pendergast was hot on his heels. Bruce got it back inboard. Yarrawonga under the pump here. The kick exiting defensive 50. Fell into the lap of Irons Pawn, and I reckon it had a couple of fingerprints on the way through, Panda.
Yep.
Ryan was a bit lucky. He kicks out wide and he finds empty head Pendergast.
One of our favourites on O&M Live, Empty Head, putting together a very impressive season from a youngster, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's shown that he can play a multitude of roles. We've seen him play ruck, forward, and now down back as well. He's been given some really big jobs at times by Stevie Johnson and the coaching staff at Yarrawonga, and he's delivered every single time.
Not far away from quarter time for A-grade oils and batteries. The Pies by 14. Barrett having an almighty year. Hand passes it back to Dan Van Berlo, who took a beautiful mark last week. If you saw that on our O&M Live Facebook page. Here's a bit of run for the Pigeons as Frontfelder just floats one inside 50. Good fist there from Boardingong. Gave away a free kick. It's a free kick here to Williams, who's going to line up. I'm not sure if he's going to have the distance, 40 out on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, Boardingong just got a little overzealous, chopped his arms there just as Lee Williams went up for that mark. You are right there, Penny. Obviously, we saw Liam McVeigh moments ago kick the long goal from outside 50. But obviously this time it's gone the other way around. Lee Williams kicking into the really strong breeze. It'd be interesting to see how much carry they're going to get on the footy at the moment.
No scoreboard here at the Norm Mins Oval, but we have you covered here on O&M Live. Lee Williams will line up, and this one is just going to trouble the scoreboard. He hooked it badly to the broadcast side, through for a minor score. The Pigeons 2-2-14, the Pies 4-3-27. We've played, there you go, it's back on, boys. 28 minutes on the Macca's time clock in this first quarter.
Wangaratta will look to consolidate here. Not allow the Pigeons to score before we head to the first break. Barrett from full-back. He's kicked that 70 metres. Newton! Oh, Juice got higher than Joe Cocker. Couldn't quite hang on to it. The boys wanted to get some grippo at half-time. Wombat, yeah. Well, gee, I'm glad that one's been brought up once again. Sorry, Juice. Free kick's going to go the way of Empty Head. Across half-back. True centre half-back. The ball's with Matt Casey for Yarrawonga. 28 minutes gone. This would be the last roll of the dice, you'd suspect. Ooh. Out wide, Ironspawn, Fothergill, I should say. He's marked the footy, 75 from home. He's got Big Whooper on the inside, who's ignored. And he's going to want to kick into the pocket here, Fothergill. Chips nicely. Umpire said not 15. Wilson got poleaxed. Onto Whooper Irvine, now back out to Fothergill. Hacks it on the boot, inside forward 50, and Saunders. Marks on the last line of defence there, Panda, and probably not the entry the Pigeons were seeking heading into the main break.
Yeah, not sure Fothergill wanted just to bomb it in long. He's not a very long kick, and into that breeze as well. It would have hung a long time in the air. So it's still the Pies by 13 points. 27 plays 14. Not long left in this opening term. And here's the man again, Fothergill. Kicked a beautiful goal. It's the first goal for the Pigeons earlier in this game. We're doing his numbers, Freaky?
Yeah, he's up to 6 disposals, Nick Fothergill.
And one wonderful goal, as I just said. Casey. He's got a long leg, kicks to half forward, pack forms. Beautifully done there by Saunders for the Pies. Hand passes down the line. Newton picks it up, and the siren sounds to end a 6-goal opening term in breezy, windy conditions here at the Norm Mins Oval. And it's the Pies by 13 points. First quarter done and dusted for A-grade oils and batteries. And remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
All clear.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
The time here at the Norm Minns Oval, it's the Pies holding on to a 13-point lead, 27 of 14. Brad Sprinkles freak. Our Optus caught us best in the opening term, please.
Yeah, in that first quarter for the Wangaratta Magpies here, Callum Moore had kicked the 2 goals and also kicked 2 behinds as well. Could have had a really explosive start to the first quarter. Had really strong hands in there as well. He's really, really good for them in that forward half. And on the Yarrawonga Pigeon side of things, Nick Fothergill, who had the 6 disposals in that first term, he kicked a beautiful left-footed goal. The first goal of Yarrawonga kicked in the game as well, so got them off and starting. If we have a look at the 40 Winks stat sheet, If we look at the team stats to start off with, a really outstanding stat between the two teams is just the inside 50 count. So 15 inside 50s to 7 in favour of the Wangaratta Magpies, and they had all the dominance in that first quarter, but only a 13-point lead, and what we believe is a fairly strong breeze for that first term as well. So look to see if they can get a bit more ascendancy in that area of the ground. If we have a look at the possession stats, no surprises who were the ball winners for the Wangaratta Magpies. Dan Sharrock and Jackson Clark both up to 8 disposals. Dane Porter's had the 6 disposals. For the Yarrawonga side of things, got Nick Fothergill who had 6, and Cam Wilson and Mark Wally both had the 3 at the moment. But I look to see the Yarrawonga midfield probably get a little more run and carry on in this quarter if they're going with that breeze in this second term.
Skybo Burgess, as we're going to call her here on O&M Live. She's got lots of lathers on. I think she might be out there at the moment, layers on I should say, out there at the moment trying to be around that Yarrawonga Pigeons huddle. Sky, I'm going to cross boundary side to you now for Waters. What were some of the messages from the Wangaratta side of things, or did you go and check out the Yarrawonga camp who were still in their huddle? Well, she must be over at Yarrawonga.
She said she was going to go and see the Pigeons.
Well, Stevie J, I reckon Stevie J would let Sky into the inner sanctum, I reckon.
Yeah, I think
Stevie
so
J
as well.
just giving Sky the pass to come right in.
I reckon they're going to get the whistle here, the Yarrawonga Pigeons, because they've been in for quite a while at quarter time. Recapping the goals in that opening quarter: 2 to Moore, 1 to Kelly, 1 to McVeigh for the Magpies, and then for the Pigeons, Fothergill and Williams. We'll now go to Sky Burgess, boundary side for Waters. Stevie J kept them in for quite a while, the Pigeons.
Yeah, he did. As you can imagine, there were lots to say. He was actually had a lot to say about a lot of different people and a lot of different roles, and had a lot to say. So pretty much the gist of it was they spoke a lot about the midfield. They feel like they're getting sucked in like bees to a honeypot, and Wang are just getting that handball out 10 metres off the ball. So just be aware of that, to not get sucked in. They're going to drop the tags and just go to a 4v4 battle. He spoke a lot to Kyle Tyson about his role on Moore, and just gave him a few tips on how to better man that position, and basically just said they've got the win now, let's use it, let's not give away those silly kicks and stay disciplined and make the most of the win.
Comprehensive rap from Sky Burgess,
the
boundary
best
side
of
for
the
Waters.
year. The best of the year.
The second term's underway between the Magpies and the Pigeons, and for Wangaratta Motor Group. Here's Panda Escott.
13-point lead here to the Pies on O&M Live. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Arvo as Sharrock goes inside forward 50 again. Pack forms. Kelly's been a presence up there. Tried to eke out a kick to Murray Wade, who snuck out the back of the stoppage. The Pigeons repel. Harry Wheeler kicks to true centre half forward, but it's all Pies. And balancing this one on his chest was Grossman, who takes an intercept mark. Wants to come to the broadcast side because Jackson Clark's broken away. How many 40 winks now, Freaky?
He's coming up. He's had 9 now, Pandy.
On to Mark Anderson, who floats one inside 50. Reed got in a really good position, just didn't take the mark. Here's Murray Waite, first there for the Pies. Pigeons come along. Tyson and Einspawn tackle him, and we're going to have a stoppage inside 50. Good couple of entries early here for the Wangaratta Magpies. No score. We've gone 40 seconds of the Macca's time clock for Wang Motor Group.
How's your clock going, Pan?
Good, I've started it this time.
Have you?
15 seconds late, though.
You're 15 seconds late. Oh, it's better than a false start. Fothergill, he exits D50 for Yarrawonga, but it's going to come back quick. It was intercepted by McVeigh. He kicked a goal from 60 metres in the first term. He's going to go into the breeze this time and use a little 9-iron, chip it up to the hot spot. Big pack forms coming through as Porter. Kelly's there on hands and knees, gets it out in the Clark direction. He can't gather. Wilson got tackled as he went to kick. Got it away in the nick of time, and Sharrock had too much on it for Reed. Wiley's there for the Pigeons. Throws it on the boot with a torpedo punt. In towards the centre of the ground. Williams to ground level. Ellis gets it out towards Big Knowles. In a bit of support coming through the FX mics from the Yarrawonga faithful.
They're not too happy at the moment. Dylan Van Berlo for the Pies. Flicks a hand pass over to Knowles, who had to bend down a long way. Well done, Big Knowlesy. Did well. Gets it on to the boot of Bourdignon, who kicks to half forward. Bruce with a good fist on Clark. Whooper Irvine applies a strong tackle. We've got a stalemate after that. Irvine, silly free kick. Brad Freak, free kick here to Dan Saunders. You didn't need to do that.
No, he certainly did. Not in a dangerous position on the ground as well for the Magpies.
Saunders goes long, and after all that, Cal Moore floats in and takes a beautiful mark. And that's a coach killer for Stevie J. He won't be happy there with Irvine.
Yeah, we saw Toby Costa last week get dragged from it. It looks like Irvine's coming straight off. But he's coming off with a bit of, that is an injury rather than getting dragged. He's a bit sore after that one, Nick Irvine. But yeah, it's silly free kick to give away, especially when there was nothing in it, a dead ball situation. Give the Magpies back the ball about 70 metres out, and Moore again with really stronger hands has taken a nice mark in the forward 50.
He's already kicked 2, Cal Moore, and he's hooked that badly on the inside of the bat like Steve Smith last night. Through for a minor score. I think it only just scraped in. The Pies 4-4-28, Yarrawonga 2-2-14. That's on our C&V truck and bus scoreboard as we tick up towards the 3-minute mark.
Gussie did mention earlier about his goal kicking he said in the paper this week, and I think he's spot on there. He knows himself pretty well, I reckon.
Kick 2-3.
Ball's come out towards true centre. Chris Knowles is intercepted. And he's going to play on, use a bit of space. Little chiselling kick inside, forward 50. Well done by Empty Head. Forced read under the ball as Melksham kicks on goal to the near side for a minor score. Had a bit more time and could have composed himself a little bit better than what he did. It's across the face for a minor score. 4-5-29 the Pies. Yarrawonga 2-2-14. C&V truck and bus.
We've only played 3.5 minutes in this second quarter, and the Magpies are already up to 5 inside 50s to none. And Yarrawonga have got the breeze in this quarter, so they probably want to get it out of their defensive half of the ground and really try and get the ball moving forward. And some quick ball movement with this breeze might be the way to move it.
We've seen the forwards of the Wangaratta Magpies just read the drop of the ball a lot better than what the forwards did for the Pigeons in the first quarter, holding up in the breeze, and they've taken a couple of marks early. Scrimmage here at half forward. Lots of players at ground level. Morey over this footy here for the Pies. Goes back into apply a tackle. Almost gave away a high free kick. Very messy football at the moment. Mason Ring says, guys, I'll have it 60 out for the Pies goal.
Just to touch on that, you're saying about reading the play. Round one, Gus, we saw Albury play Yarrawonga down by Whaler. A very windy day as well. And the Pigeons that day didn't read the flight of the ball very well either. It's just a trend that's continuing today in a bit blustery conditions.
4.5 minutes gone for Maccas. 55 metres out from the Magpies goal. Howe's got possession for the Pigeons. Just hacks it long down the line. It's still a contest. Bounces twice before Anderson intercepts and gets the ball out to Grossman. He comes back and tries to find Mark Anderson. The Pies are across right half back. Kick towards Saunders. It's Luke. Has been marked in front of the interchange gates here.
Playing well, Luke.
Magpies. He's playing a really good game. Been a pretty underrated player in this Magpies outfit this season. Left foot kick inboard's good. Links up with Fraser Ellis, true centre wing broadcast side. 29-14, the Pies lead the Pigeons on the C&V truck and bus scoreboard.
3 long sleeves for the Pies today. Ellis, one of those. Howe did really well just to nudge Knowles under the footy. Sneakily and not give away a free kick. Big game here for Lockie Howe. Beautiful kick inboard. Oh, just over the outreaching Matt Casey there, who do everything but mark it. Kelly at ground level, really clean onto Waite. Smith linking up with beautiful hands to Dane Porter. Steadies from 30. That's a team lifter from the Pies. A wonderful finish from Dane Porter. A steel line goal today, a Mawson's concrete player today, and they get their 5th goal.
Just that turnover in the middle of the ground, and it really and obviously the mismark there by Matt Casey. The Maggies are able to swoop on and move the ball nice and quickly, and a beautiful finish there for Dane Porter, who's up to the 7 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet in this game.
So a game-high lead of 21 points to the Wangaratta Magpies, and you feel that Yarrawonga have had their chances in this quarter, Freaky. They're just struggling to make clean possession of the football.
They're just turning the ball over in really poor areas of the ground. Magpies are dominating again, 6 inside 50s to none to start this second quarter with the strong breeze that the Pigeons are going with as well.
Howe's dominating in the ruck. They've got to start making the most of that. Knowles, he gathered the footy right on commentator's curse. Kicks up towards half forward. He's a go for Reed. Pushed under the footy. Empty head Pendergast amongst the action. It's pinballing around as the Pies look to go inside 50. Not the best kick, turned over. And Lockie Howe, the man I just spoke about, has got it true centre wing, out of side. Chiseling kick inside 50, coming off his man was Bourdignon. He handballs dangerously. Good pressure here from the Pigeons. Got to get the handball away. Well done by Saunders. Got it out to Van Berlo. And Wangaratta can reset across right half back.
Yeah, Van Berlo tried to get around Fothergill, who just did enough to worry him there and allowed a few Pigeons to go in here. There's a free kick here. Whistle. There we go on our effects mic. I'm pretty sure it was Mark Wiley.
I don't know what he's talking about trucks for, Pan. I know C&V Truck and Bus sponsor the second term, but good to see the sponsors getting amongst the C&V Truck and Bus action.
Hooks and Chooks as well. So there's a free kick here to the Pies. We've got the only goal in this second quarter through Dane Porter. They lead by 21. 35 plays 14.
Don't know about plugging sponsors that don't support us, Pan.
Oh, well, it's, we do all sorts of weird and wonderful things here on O&M Live.
I'll get a bill.
Oh, well, they can put we'll send them an invoice. There's Matt Bader-Kelly playing as a high half-forward pressure man today. Marks it on the Ovens River side of the ground. A little bit of sunshine, Sky Burgess, over the Norman's Oval at the moment.
It is. It's lovely. It's nice and warm. I think everyone's making the most of it.
35 plays 14. 21-point lead favouring the home side, the Magpies. They got the footy Ovens River side of the ground. Good kick out wide. Juice has got it. He goes on the overlap to Melksham, who kicks with a high up and under inside forward 50. Reid, another time he brings the football to ground level. Where are the Crummers? Here's a go for Harry Wheeler. On towards Bruce, who hacks it long down the line, and it's going to come back pretty quick, Panda, because the Pies have intercepted.
They have, and they go back inside forward 50, looking for Clark. Out the back, did well. Fronfelder over this football, and he sees it over the boundary line, and we'll have it tossed back in 30 around for the Magpies goal.
Total domination by the Magpies in this second quarter. 8 inside 50s to 1 in the first 8 minutes of the quarter. They just have only been able to kick the 1 goal so far. Need to get a bit more scoreboard pressure considering they're kicking into the breeze in this second term.
Toss back in. 40 out from the Maggies goal, doing all the attacking. Whistle and a free kick here to the Pigeons. Under the pump, and it's going to go the way of Cam Wilson. His numbers, Brad Freak?
He's coming out for his 4th disposal today. Him, like a lot of the Yarrawonga midfielders, are very quiet. Willie Wheeler's only had the 2 disposals as well in this game.
Chips out wide here to Lockie Howe, who's certainly impressing. Been probably one of the Pigeons' best. They trail by 21 points. We've played 9 minutes in the Macca's time clock. Here's Gus McLeod for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Leroy Williams has worked his way up the ground, trying to get amongst the action. It sparked a bit of run into the Pigeons. They come back inboard trying to find Wilson. He kicks inside 50. Not the best kick. The Pigeons are going to have to be clever here. Urquhart's there, dived on top of the footy.
Trouble.
He's going to pin trouble, holding the footy. Well done by Jordan Urquhart. Read that situation really well. It's a free kick against Murray Waite. And Urquhart's going to have the footy. I reckon he's in range if he goes back and backs himself. He's going to chip the ball into the pocket. Not the kick. Too much on it for Conway. Yarrawonga under the pump now. Waite's wrapped up in a big tackle. And they just got to be a lot more cleaner going inside 50. Freaky, a wasted opportunity there from the visitors.
Yeah, I think they need to go a little bit quicker as well. They just allowed the Magpies to get numbers back in defence and fill all avenues to their key forwards then as well.
Lockie Howard just getting on top of Knowles here at the ruck contest at the moment. Lots of players around this footy. 40 out from the Pigeons' goal. How many inside 50s for them, Freaky, in this second quarter?
They're only up to 2 inside 50s in this second quarter. The Pigeons compared to the Maggies who have had 8.
And they got the breeze as well, kicking to the Evans Street end. Beautiful ruck tap from Howe into Wiley, and he's been stung holding the ball. The Pigeons thought he may have been taken high. Anyway, it's a free kick here to the Pies. Jackson Clark, beautiful kick straight down the middle of the Normans. It's been marked by Cam Barrett. Aggressive kick from Clark might pay off. Smith flicks a hand pass onto Paddy Warner. He's too far from home. Flicks it onto Sharrock, who balks onto his right foot. Kicks into space towards Moore. Moore's got the run in front of Tyson. Urquhart goes back for the Pigeons to make amends. Lots of players around this footy and good pressure. Spills out here to Urquhart for the Pigeons, who clears to the Ovens River side.
Oh, it's not the best kick, Pan, and it's going to go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Favouring attack for the Wangaratta Magpies, Ovens River side of the ground. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
I just wonder when the time that they're going to pull the pin and move Casey or Masters back into the defensive half of the ground. They've both got them in the forward half, and really in the moment they're not having any impact on the game at all playing in that forward half for the Pigeons. I just feel like they need one of their senior heads in that back half just to solidify that back half a little bit more.
Plays breaking down way too often between half back and half forward for Yarrawonga. Between the arcs, they're getting absolutely slaughtered, kicking with the breeze, believe it or not. Boundary throw-in back into play. Moore's gone into the ruck to try and spark some life back into that battle. Here's a go now for Porter. Throws on the left boot up towards half forward. Yarrawonga have numbers around the footy and they kick the ball inboard. It's cut off by Smith. He throws on the boot into attack for the Pies. Ball beats the lot of them. Bit of a contest form. Spills out the back. Big tackle applied. Clark was lucky there. He got taken high. O'Keefe over the top trying to find Reid. Reid to Warner. Fraunfelder. Hacked it out of midair across the face for a minor score. Good defending on the last line of defence. The Magpies 5-6-36. Yarra 2-2-14. TMV truck and bus scoreboard favouring the Pies here, Panda, despite the fact they are kicking against the breeze in the second term at the 12-minute mark for Maccas.
Yeah, still doing all the attacking. Second quarter action for Wang Motor Group. We played 12 minutes. So the Pies, Pigeons just need to get a bit of ascendancy. Maybe they should listen to this fella down here below our effects, Mike. It's just getting turned over at half forward. Sharrock able to Marked that one on his chest in front of Wiley.
The Breeze is really playing a lot of trouble with the Pigeons today. Their kicks and their forwards aren't reading the play well at all at the moment.
Big contest there in the middle of the ground, and there's a whistle here and a free kick here to Cam Wilson. He copped a high one. Just inside the centre square. Opens up the Ovens River side of the ground beautifully. Here's a bit of play for Masters. He's taken a mark. 70 from home. Goes into the pocket looking for Fothergill. Ball hits the deck. It was not a good kick inside forward 50. And we've got a boundary throw in inside 50 here for the Pigeons. Haven't had too many of those in this ball game. They trail by 22 points. 13 played second term.
Very interesting to note, Dylan Van Berlo, when the Pies were looking to go inside a defensive 50, he just dropped his man freaky and went straight into the gap to try and block the run of Lee Williams. A clear tactic from the Pies. Back into play. It's going to fall the way now of Robinson. He spills it out of bounds for Yarrawonga. Will ball the footy back into play.
Well, just to go even further with your point there, Gussie, at the moment, Matt Grossman's filling the hole right in front of Matt Casey. So if there's a quick kick forward, it's going to be an outnumber against the Yarrawonga Pigeons. So it's not giving their forwards any chance at the moment.
Van Berlo's on the line like a goalkeeper as well. Moore, good work in the ruck, brought it down and regathered his own footy. Clears defensive lines and buys the Pies a bit of time. Falls the way of Slim Shady Morey. Here's a go now for Howe. Got to get rid of the footy. I reckon he's gone.
Yep.
Umpire Mason Ring said, holding the footy, boys. It's a free kick, and there's a couple of players that are down here. Wilson's one, and Juice Newton's a bit slow to let Lockie Howe up. After all that, Panda, Sharrock's going to be the recipient of the free kick, and he finds Clark.
Jackson Clark and Sharrock. How many between them, Freaky? Putting you on the spot here.
Dan Sharrock's up to 14. Clark's up to 11 now.
That's why he's number one.
Didn't give a total, though.
No, 25. My maths is correct.
Mate, I've had trouble with numbers this week.
22 the number. That's what the Pies lead by here at the minute. Newton looks inboard, looking for McVeigh there, floating back and taking a nice defensive mark. Ryan Bruce.
Masters gone into defence, Panda.
About time. Empty head Pendergast. Not a great exiting defensive kick. Finds Wilson. Kicks it really wide to the broadcast wing. Well done there by Will O'Keefe. An important 1 versus 2 contest. The Pies will love that. He just forced a stoppage. It'll be tossed back into play by Nelson Butterfield right in front of Sky Burgess, boundary side for Waters.
There's a bit going down here at the moment. We've had Wiley come off. He's got his knee taped, and we've just had Lockie Howe come off for a breather as well. So we'll watch that ruck against Moore, who's actually dominating in there at the moment.
15 minutes gone for Maccas. Well done, Skybo Burgess. For Waters, we'll have a free kick here. Free kick, it's going to go the way of the Pies.
Yeah, holding the man there. I didn't really see too much of a hole, but the umpire may have obviously had a better view than we did.
Clark's the recipient. He goes with the right boot. Dangerous kick towards McVeigh. Wheeler, this is Harry, regathers for the Pigeons and kicks into attack. The overlap's on here if they can use it. Robinson's got Leroy all alone. He can go to Conway. Conway, he can run into the open goal square. Welcome to Yarrawonga. Dylan Conway with his first goal in the hoops of the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and how desperately they needed their third goal, Brad Freak.
Yeah, they certainly desperately needed that one, didn't they, Gussie? Only their fourth inside 50 in the second quarter as well, but just some free air as well. Just a turnover in the back half on their defensive half, and they're able to go quickly, and just some really good, clean ball use to get it out to Lee Williams, and then obviously onto Conway. And Williams was out there as well. His Wangaratta opponent had pushed up the ground to fill up a hole and outnumber up at the source of the footy, but just Williams was able to read the play, get out the back, and then Conway on the end of it as well. He'd always like to get a nice, easy goal like that to get you off the mark at a new club.
It's the kick from Harry Wheeler that really set it up, wasn't it? Look at Knowles just bully Casey in the ruck then. So it's a 16-point lead here to the Pies, 36 plays 20. We hadn't had a goal in the game for about 12 minutes. It was getting a little bit sloppy, so we definitely needed that one as the wind still picks up here strongly at the Normans Oval. We're watching on the O&M Optus TV. It's the Ovens River on the other side there, and those beautiful gum trees in Indigenous round have been waving all day. Dump tackle free kick here. Not sure about that. It's a free kick here to Sharrock. Got to be consistent now. Sharrock finds Murray Waite. Too far out to score. Chiseling kick in the redirection. Beautiful mark and beautiful play by the Wangaratta Magpies. Read a line up 30 out tight angle.
Just really good kick there by Dan Sharrock to get the ball moving quickly, find Murray Wade and find Ben Reid out a bit of space. That's probably the difference in the two sides at the moment. Just how much speed the Magpies can get on the footy and move it forward. They're not letting Yarrawonga's defence set, where you go the other way, Yarrawonga's giving Wangaratta a chance to set.
So Ben Reid, that is a beautiful drop punt finish from one of the best in the business. A steal line goal that tied up in the pocket. in front of the away change rooms here at the Normans, and he's absolutely nailed it. That is the Pies' 6th goal. They go to 42, Yarrawonga 20. That's on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
Really good quick reply there from Ben Reid as well for the Maggies. Obviously, as we touched on, with the Pigeons going with the breeze in this second quarter, they can make the ground up pretty quickly. If we go around the grounds for 40 winks, in the other games in the Ovens and Murray, Wodonga Bulldogs on top of the Wodonga Raiders 33-8. Rovers 23 lead Lavington 12, and Albury 40 lead North Albury 7.
And back here at the Normans, it's a 22-point lead to the home side. The Wangaratta Magpies over the Pigeons. Knowles, he won that tap, brought it down to ground level. Ball spills out to the Ovens River side of the ground. Casey's on hands and knees. He's going to win a free kick for a high. So Yarrawonga can slingshot into attack via Matt Casey. It's a grubber kick inside forward 50. Too much on it for Williams. They could be lucky enough to get a stoppage. Barrett's there. His handball was poor. Pinballs around the last line of defence. Barrett got it away and out of bounds. Well spotted there by the boundary umpire. He was jotting on the spot. Wasn't the best kick from Casey Panda, but they'll like this. A restart, a stoppage deep into attack at the 19-minute mark of the second term, thanks to Wangaratta Motor Group.
Gus McLeod, Panda Escott, Brad Freak for the Old Town and Country Tavern. We've been there for a feed, Gussie. Do a great palmy, don't they, the Old Town?
Good garlic bread too,
Yeah,
man.
yep, nothing better than a good garlic bread just to set up your feet as well. Toss back into play. Beautiful boundary throw in. Williams doing the rucking. Spills out here to Fothergill. That was a very quick hand pass. It was intercepted by Jackson Clark, who may have actually got away with a throw there. Umpire called play on, and Fraser Ellis just kicked it into Cam Wilson. May have actually got him in a very uncomfortable position. Poor Cam down on his haunches. Deary me. Boundary throw in, 70 out from the Pigeons goal. They trail by 22.
Don't think the trainers will attend to that one, Panda. That's a DIY job, I reckon. Boundary throw in, back into play. Ovens River side of the ground. Einsporn's there. He tracks it, trying to get it towards Wiley. Give him a 40 winks disposal there. Freaky as well as one to Dan Sharrock. He kicks long down the ground, gains about 60 metres, and will ball the footy in slightly in towards attack, favouring the Pies.
Lee Masters has gone back into the forward half. I'm not too sure if he just pushed up the ground before, but he is definitely in that forward half as well for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. So I'm not too sure what the plan is there at the moment, but I think that you probably want to get him in the back half a little bit quicker.
He's doing a Dusty Martin, just playing wherever he wants. Maybe he's going rogue.
He
I don't mind it.
He
I
can
don't
do that.
mind it. If anyone could do it in the competition, it's him. Ball's in dispute. Ovens River side of the ground. Falls the way now of Clark for the Pies. Not his best kick inside 50. Whopper Irvine's there. He's going to switch the ball, and he's going to switch dangerously. Falls the way of Waite. He evaded the tackle from Morey. Waite skimmies, kicks. Can't quite kick on line. It's across the face to a minor score. When you switch the play like that, Freaky, you've got to nail your kick.
Yeah, you certainly do. You don't want to be turning the ball in dangerous areas there. But Murray Wade had Paddy Warner in the middle of the ground, a lot of space. Should have probably given him the hands an easier shot at goal, but have to rectify it next time they go forward.
Willie Wheeler has just opened up the middle of the Normans here for the Pigeons. Einsporn just missed his target inside forward 50. Williams is going to be first there. This is great transition play and a great push off there from Bourdignon as Williams was just about to kick on goal. That could prove very, very good there for the Wangaratta Magpies. Brilliant stuff there from Bourdignon on Williams. We've got a boundary throw in Ovens River side of the ground. The Pies lead by 23 points.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, Willie Wheeler still only up to the 3 disposals in this game. So that run with roll that Dan Saunders did so well earlier in the year is definitely working again for the Magpies.
Great to have your company in the grand final rematch at the Normans Oval. On O&M Live, Matt Kelly, hands on the footy, disposed illegally. Umpire said nothing in it. Einsporn gets the Pigeons to half forward. It pinballs around on the paint of 50. The bottom of the pack was Saunders. And we'll have a restart, 50 metres out from Yarrawonga's goal.
Liked Einsporn's game today for the Pigeons. I think he's one that's tried to bring a bit of spark into the game for him. He's trying really hard out there at the moment for him.
Only 3 goals in the second term. We've played 21 minutes for Maccas. We should have another restart here. And that's what we'll do. So goals in the second term to Porter, Conway and Reid. The score is 6-7-43 to 3-2-20 for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Here's Panda Escott.
23-point lead here. That's what it says on the scoreboard. That's been fluctuating a little bit today. It's been on, it's been off. Maybe they've got the Sparkies over there as well. Has been an issue here at the Normans Oval. It's all right. We'll go around the grounds for 40 winks very soon, repeating A-grade netball scores in the grand final rematch as well. The Yarrawonga Pigeons winning that one by 4 goals, 42-38. Toss back up, 50 around from the Pigeons goal. Robinson diving over this football. Sharrock just working his way through a bit of traffic. Good tackle there from Wiley. Bit of scrappy play here at the minute. Robertson tried to kick it inside 50 for the Pigeons. Far side, Ovens River side of the ground. And we've got another boundary throw in. 22 played in this second term for Wangaratta Motor Group. Around the grounds, Brad Sprinkles freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, Wodonga lead Wodonga Raiders 39-8. Lavington now lead the Wangaratta Rovers 25-23, and Albury 40 lead North Albury 8 at the moment at the sports ground.
Casey took the ball out of the ruck and then got taken high, so he'll have a free kick for Yarrawonga. 60 metres from home on a 45-degree angle. Williams wants it on the fat side. Casey's going to arc around. Kicks narrowly, and it's a very poor kick. Lucky to get a restart. Well, the boundary throwing deep in the pocket for Yarrawonga as we cross boundary side. Thanks to our good friends at Waters to DJ Skybo.
You've thrown that in there, Gussie. Look, I've got to say, I'm so impressed with the overlap run of Wang Maggies today. Like, they're just everywhere. They're pushing forward. They're getting around that ball wide. It's just very hard for Yarrawonga to shut down.
Football comes back into play. The kick from Ironspawn to the top of the squares. Found Masters. Well, he's been playing at the wrong end of the ground, we think, Freaky, and now he's going to have a shot on goal, 25 metres out, tied up in the pocket.
Yeah, it's a really important shot of goal here for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Really need the captain to stand up and kick this goal for them. They've been really, really dominated in this second quarter, but if they can get this goal and get it within 3 goals, who knows what can happen if they can start again after half-time.
Masters kicks, and he likes it. Really good goal from Lee Masters. How the Yarrawonga Pigeons needed that one so desperately. Brings the margin back to 17 points. And the captain, he's kicked his first goal of the day.
Yeah, just some nice clean space to be able to make good decisions. And obviously Willie Wheeler had the ball there. Really prime ball winner for him. As we touched on, he's only had a really slow day today. Obviously Dan Saunders is doing that run with roll with him. He's only had the 4 disposals. But if he isn't going to get much touches at the footy, he may as well get maximum impact when he does. And he did there to find Masters, who was able to put it on the scoreboard.
Around the grounds for our good friends at 40 Winks, the Panthers have hit the lead over the Rovers at half-time. Back here in the middle, it's a 17-point ball game, I should say, favouring the Wangaratta Magpies. 24 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock, almost 25. And for the Old Town and Country Tavern, you're with Panda Escott on O&M Live.
Turn me mic on, 3 and E's O&M Live. I've done a Robbie and a Luke combined.
So did Robbie turn that off for you then? Or?
I think he did. He did it last time here at the Derby, just went bang.
Turned the wrong mic off.
Yeah, turned the wrong mic off. We love him. There's Dan Saunders, loving his work today as well on Willie Wheeler.
Seen his moment from Robbie.
It was indeed. Tried to go forward for the Pies. Whistle. There was a big contest there, and there's a free kick here to the Pigeons. Not sure what for. It's been marked by Masters. They try to get a couple of late ones here in this second quarter. Too far out to score, but he pumps it long. Williams camped out the back, creates a contest. Coming through here was Conway holding the ball, free kick. A great tackle there by Mark Anderson. And also Luke Saunders for the Wangaratta Magpies. He was gang tackled. He was just about to snap on goal was Dylan Conway. He kicked his first goal earlier this quarter. 17-point lead here to the Pies as we tick up towards the 25th minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Second quarter action for Wangaratta Motor Group.
Good game of footy here on O&M Live, whether you're tuning in on 15663 or Optus O&M TV with Wangaratta and Indigo Computers. Lukey Chilcott and the crew on the live stream, and Logan Cartwright shooting today's action for O&M Live. He's doing a cracking job. As Conway marks 55 from home, he's going to play on quickly. A grubber kick to the top of the square. It's not going to register a score. And now it's tapped through for a minor score. So sloppy footy going inside 50 from Yarrawonga. We'll give that one to Dylan Conway as a minor score. 27 plays 43. The Magpies lead the Pigeons for CMV Truck and Bus.
Round 12, SSNA, Ovens and Murray action. Scrappy footy, ground holding up pretty well. Sky Burgess as well for Waters.
It is. It's quite muddy in a few patches. You were right about walking out there with white shoes. Tested the muddy spots out, that's for sure.
It got me last week at the McNamara Reserve where it can be a little bit muddy, I can guarantee you that. Fair to say I was copying a bit of heat from Freaky and the guys in the commentary box.
I wasn't doing anything, Tim. I don't normally wear the white wheels, but it was Dan and
Lukey.
The 2 blokes that have no fashion sense, so I wouldn't worry about them, mate.
Half-time siren sounds as the Pigeons were just about to go back into attack. And it ends the dominant first half for the Wangaratta Magpies. 6-7-43. They lead the Yarrawonga Pigeons 4-3. 27 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. When we come back, our halftime show for Harvey Norman Betting, live from the Normans Oval. It's the grand final rematch between the Pies and the Pigeons, and an O&M Live. You won't miss a thing.
All clear.
Looking for somewhere great to eat?
Yeah.
Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Show here at the Normans Oval, 3A's O&M Live. An interesting half of football. The Pies have definitely owned this contest. They lead by 16 points over the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 43-27. It's Panda Escott with you. Brad Sprinkles-Freak will be joined by Sky Burgess a little bit later on, and Gus McLeod will float in and out. And I reckon, Freaky, your 40-wing stat show is going to show all the indicators But the Wangaratta Magpies have certainly owned this contest.
Yeah, no, you don't even look any further than the inside 50 count for that first half. It was 28 inside 50s to 16 in favour of the Magpies, and especially in that second quarter there where the Pigeons were king with the breeze, but only managed the 9 inside 50s to 13 for the Wangaratta Magpies. So they're really dominating them in and around the ground. And again, probably just as we've sort of touched on off air, thinking about the Pigeons, they probably look a little bit flat at the moment. They're in the midfield, they're just a little bit flat, and the Maggies are just getting on top. And when the Magpies get on top, they can really, really get on top. But I'm saying if they've been flat and everything like that, it's still only a 17-point margin here at the moment. So, sorry, a 16-point margin here at the moment. So a little bit of momentum for the Pigeons in the second half, and they can get right back in this game. As we touched on in the 40 Winks stat sheet, if we have a look at the possession stats, none of the Yarrawonga midfield really getting on top of the footy at the moment. Nick Fothergill's had the 8 disposals, Cam Wilson's had 6, Wiley's had 6 as well, and Willie Wheeler's the one who's been really quiet, been really well held by Dan Saunders. He's only had the 5, where if you have a look at the other side, the Magpies, what you'd expect out of Dan Sharrock this year as well, he's up to he's our leading possession getter on this 40 Winks stat sheet. He's up to 17 disposals, and his partner in crime, Jackson Clark's up to 14 as well in the first half.
Goal kick. Sorry, Gussie.
I was just going to say, sorry, Panda, really interesting with Saunders. Hasn't played a game of footy for 6 weeks in the seniors. He's come straight back in to play a role on Willie Wheeler, and the Magpies are getting paid in spades for that impact. Only had how many, Freaky? 4 disposals?
He's had 5.
5 disposals for Willie Wheeler at halftime. You take that to the bank every day.
And I think you have to almost, think that he comes into fruition for our Ultimate Fastener MVP votes. Like, he is doing a wonderful role in terms of shutting a midfield option down for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and he's coming out and doing it beautifully.
Just have a look through my notes. So the same game earlier in the year, Willie Wheeler had the 9 disposals at halftime, but after halftime in that day, I remember Dan Saunders went to him and only had 4 disposals in the second half. So in the last 4 quarters of football that Dan Saunders has played on Willie Wheeler, he's only managed the 9 touches. So there's something that he can do to Willie Wheeler that really nullifies him. And the combination of Wheeler and Lockie Howe in the ruck works so well for the Pigeons. So if they can nullify that centre clearance area that they get so well out of for the Pigeons gets broken down so quickly. So it's something that the Pigeons are probably going to have to rectify pretty quickly if they want to get back into this game as well.
All the goal scorers so far in this opening quarter. Cal Moore kicked 2 goals. Opening half. Cal Moore kicked 2 goals in the opening quarter, I should say. He's the leading goal kicker on the ground with a couple of majors, 3 behind. Singles and a Matt Kelly, Liam McVeigh, Ben Reed, and also Dane Porter, who finished a wonderful team goal. The Yarrawonga Pigeons, singles to Fothergill, who kicked a ripping goal in the opening quarter. Lee Masters has played a lot forward today as well. We'll speak about that. Lee Williams and also Dylan Conway is first in Pigeons colours. Let's go to that big talking point in the opening half. Matt Casey and Lee Masters playing heavy time in the forward half of the Yarrawonga Pigeons. But, Freaky, it just doesn't seem to be working at the moment.
No, it certainly doesn't. You can see why they're trying to do it. They're trying to stretch that back half of the Magpies. But the ball use that the Pigeons have had today and the speed that they're using the ball doesn't help that as well. You see, we saw late in the second quarter there where Sharry got the free kick for the Magpies, quick switch of the ground over to Murray Waite, and then quick delivery into Ben Reed, and really caught the Pigeons defenders on the back foot, where if you look at the ball going the other way, they're just really stagnant and they're just really slow with the ball movement. I think they need to pick that pace up. They need to get pace on their game and get the ball moving quickly and give them the chances of, if they're going to persist with Masters and Casey in that forward half, the chances of being one out and taking uncontested marks, Gussie.
I don't have an issue with all 4 of them playing in attack. I've got the issue with all 4 of them sitting inside 50 simultaneously. If they're going to play 4 key tools in attack, 2 of them are going to get up and down the wings, Freaky. They've got to provide contests and be taking marks between half-back and true centre wing. You can only have 2 guys down in the attacking forward 50 at once, and they've got to provide some options up the ground. Yes, we know that Williams and Conway, they're one paces. They're not going to be the sort of guys that can get up onto the wings and then burn you going back the other way. But Casey can, Masters can, and if you get knackered doing it, well, that's okay. You can go and rest at the deepest forward. I just think they look stagnant, Freaky. They've got to start adding some more running and some more moving into their game.
I think in a couple of times as well, they've been caught with all 4 of them up the ground, so that when they have moved the ball quickly and they've got the ball into some space, they've got nobody then to quickly turn and kick to. They've really got to slow down, let these guys get back, and then that's when the times they've gone to transition the ball to the other side of the ground, turned it over in the middle of the ground, and Maggies have gone back the other way. So, as you say, I'm probably in the same school of thought as you, Gussie. The idea, I like getting the 4 in there, but this is part of the reason why we talked about pre-game. We bring adding Dylan Conway into the mix as well. You throw this big forward line together. It's probably never played a game, probably only trained once or twice together in that position, and all of a sudden now you throw them against your main rival for the season and what you're probably going to come up against later in the year in September, and you've just got to wing it on the fly almost. So I like the thinking to try and change it, but I just think that it could be done a little bit differently. I'm hoping, and I'd like to see what changes can be made in the second half to see if they can get that quartet moving a bit better.
It was a tale of two halves. The first quarter and the second quarter painted very different stories. We're really starting to see, Sky, for what is the impact of that breeze. And Yarrawonga, despite the fact they lost that quarter on the scoreboard, they look to have a lot more threats going inside 50, favouring the breeze. And the same can be said for the Magpies. Kicking to the Evans Street end is such an advantage at the moment.
Yeah, it is. And they probably should have got a couple more goals than what they did. Just some silly kicks inside 50, just not capitalising on that breeze. But it certainly makes a difference. I think when they came out the start of that second quarter, when they were setting up really well behind the ball, they shut down Maggies for a little bit, and then Maggies got away on them again. So I think they just need to keep an eye on that and stay focused on shutting down that run.
Auskick game happening right in front of us at the moment as well. We've got the Hawks up against the Magpies.
Better skill set in this game,
Absolutely. I tell you what, a couple of young fellas doing some wonderful things. There's some girls out there, and there was no more exciting feeling than playing half-time, whether it be at the AFL or even in the Ovens of Murray. All you wanted to do was kick a goal. How often do you see players burn that many of their teammates just trying to kick one through the big sticks?
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's a tactic I employed a lot as an Oz kicker freaky. I had size on my side at that age, so I use it to my advantage.
My claim to fame is when we played Auskick on the MCG. I kicked out from full-back and kicked a goal.
You did
That's how small the ground was.
You did not.
That's how small the ground was.
You sure your old man just didn't carry the goalpost forward for you?
I crossed my heart. I swear on your life, Blake Panda Escott, that it happened.
There you go.
It was outstanding.
Steal on goal today, sure, from our man Brad Sprinkles Freak. Let's go around the ground and check out some other scores. Yes, Gus?
I was going to say the scores around
the
grounds.
There you go. Around the grounds, please, Gus McLeod for 40 Winks.
Thanks to 40 Winks here at the Norm Men's Oval, I should say. 43 plays 27 between the Magpies and the Pigeons. A bit of support coming through.
Like it. Affects mine.
Yep. Normally they say pretty choice things to me. It's nice. Got something nice. At the Birrelea Park, turn your mic off, Sky. You won't like this one. 7-3-45, the Bulldogs over the Raiders, 1-3-9. Lavington have hit the front at half-time over the Rovers, 4-9-33 to 4-5-29.
Could that come back to bite them, Gussie? 4-9-33. We've already seen them lose a couple of games by under a few kicks already due to inaccurate kicking.
They both kicked 4 goals, so I think, Panda, they might still be into this contest.
5 more scoring shots for Lavy, though.
Yeah, so we're keen to catch the latest from that game there. And even spread of goal kickers. 1 goal each to Billy Glamble, McKinlay, Tommy Hargrave and O'Brien, whilst the Rovers 3 goals to the Fudd and 1 to Tommy Boyd. And at the other game at the Albury Sports Ground, the Albury Tigers hold a 6-4-40 lead over the North Albury Hoppers, 1-8. Goals in the Albury Tigers game to Garlett, Powell, Grills, Bice, King and O'Brien, whilst the North Albury, the sole goal kicker, is Josh Minogue.
Sharing him around up at the sports ground. It's interesting to see that the Wodonga Bulldogs in a must-win game as well, really flexing their muscles over the Wodonga Raiders, and Albury doing a bit of a number over North Albury as well. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a cross from our guys at 2AY today as well.
That'll be a stretch.
Because Dan Vaccaro's leaving early.
What's
He's
he got
sneaking off. I'm not sure. He didn't say. Brad Freak might be able to know as he shakes his head.
It's
Harvey
typical.
Norman reunion or something?
Harvey Norman reunion. Typical Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, typical Dan Vaccaro. I don't know why. Just letting the team down once again. That's why he's number 2 and 3.
Absolutely. Sky Burgess, get a little bit of a women's footy recap as well. You said you have the bye tomorrow, but we're 3 weeks out from finals. Who's shaping up to be the number 1 teams in the women's competition at the moment?
Us and Labby are up there again. Labby in the open women's are pretty clear favourites for the flag at this point in time. They're undefeated. Really, really strong around the midfield, and they're very well educated on setting up around the ball and stuff. So we're sitting in second. Raiders, we'll be gunning for them. But it looks like it's going to be that in all 3 grades again. I think our under-17s and our under-14s are on top and Labby are second. So, I mean, you don't really want a grand final with only 2 clubs in it. But as you know, like a person of that club, that's you hope for that and we wish for that. And we're just going to try our best. But definitely Labby are top tier at the moment.
some of the junior numbers as well, I believe, amongst some of the sides, there's girls missing out because there's
Yeah.
so many numbers, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, we play Wodonga Bulldogs tomorrow. Our juniors, they have an under-14s team, so they play off and with the Open Women's have a bye. But I was speaking to one of the Bulldogs guys, and they actually have their girls on a roster system. So each week there's 3 or 4 that miss out, and they just rotate through on a roster system. So it's really good to see those numbers coming through. Even looking out here on the oval, and there's a couple of the girls running around in Auskick. So they're actually starting a girls-only Auskick around town. Have you heard
Fantastic.
that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know about that, which is wonderful to see.
Yeah, running clinics out of a few different clubs and that. Because I know a lot of the girls are scared to go and play Auskick with the boys. So instead of waiting till they're our age and starting, with that girls-only Auskick, hopefully they'll start at a young age and come up all the way through.
Oh, that'll be good for me in 5 years' time when I get the little one out there and
Absolutely. Freaky will be absolutely loving it.
I wonder if she'll kick goals from fullback.
She will.
Panda.
She'll
I
be just
think
like
so.
her old man. But she'll shank him as well, don't worry about that.
The teams are making their way back onto the ground. Panda, we better thank our sponsors on O&M Live.
Yes, absolutely. Halftime show for 40 Winks and Harvey Norman betting as well. Let's wrap things up here as the Pigeons run out on the ground. Halftime show done and dusted. They trail by 16 points. Remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Done and dusted, players in their positions. We're not too far away from the third quarter starting here at the Normin's Oval. In the grand final rematch, round 12, Indigenous round in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. It's the Magpies, impressive, holding a 16-point lead, 6-7-43 over the Yarrawonga Pigeons, 4-3-27. And it's going to be a very interesting second half of football. Blake Panda Escott with you, Brad Sprinkles Freak. We've got Skybird just down to the boundary and Gus McLeod as well, all for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Third quarter action for STY Medals, and here's one of the best in the business, Gussie McLeod on O&M Live.
Thought you were going to throw to someone else for a second there, Panda, when you said best in the business. These two are the best in the business. The Pies and the Pigeons, we're back underway at the Normins. Here goes Harry Wheeler. First possession of the quarter for him, up towards Masters.
Still forward.
They're sticking with him into attack. He's 75 from home. Chipping kicks okay. Falls the way of Ironspawn. The man from Ferntree Gully. Puffing Billy territory. He kicks inside 50. Saunders. Good use of the body against Williams. On hands and knees, it's Scrappy. Falls the way of Big Knowlesy. And he pumps the Pies into attack.
He does indeed. Ovens River side of the ground. Murray Waite picks it up and hand passes it to Anderson. Fraser Ellis goes down the line safely, and marking this one down low was Lockie Howe for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, the big ruckman.
Sorry, mate, you were caught napping there, were you?
Oh, mate.
Sorry,
I was caught napping, but that's okay. I probably should pay attention a little bit more.
Like the poms in the slippers.
Exactly right. Root Bairstow couldn't catch a cold in Siberia. Mark Wiley. He's got it. How many for him, please, Brad Sprinkles Freak?
He's had the 7, Wiley.
He goes down the line. Half forward. This is Lee Masters. Got one goal already in this ball game. Likes an option inboard. That's a beautiful kick to find Conway out on the lead, who marks it. Or he gets a free kick for a chop of the arms. And Dylan Conway will have a shot from probably 51, 2 metres. In fact, he kicks it to the last minute to the top of the goal square. Comes out the back here towards Ironspawn, who was goal side of his opponent there, Fraser Ellis. And DVB Burlow just runs it out of bounds for a throw-in. Inside 50 for the Pigeons, doing some early attacking in this third quarter. We've played 2 minutes, no score.
Early change there for the Yarrawonga Pigeons as well. They've got Bailey Fronfelder playing in the forward half now. Got him off the half-back line and moved him into a more familiar role in the forward line.
16-point ball game. The Pies lead the Pigeons into attack of Yarrawonga. Head over the footy was Harry Wheeler. Saunders. Little underground kick falls the way of Morey. From a standing start, kicks to the top of the square. Van Burlow. Too strong. Was up against Fothergill and probably gave away about 1.5 feet. Comes towards McVeigh. Tied up on the boundary line. He handballs over the top with a raking one. Balding-Young's got to be clean. His handball was poor, and good defensive pressure from Yarrawonga. Conway working his way into the contest, applying some good defensive pressure.
It's much better start from Yarrawonga in this third quarter. They seem like there's a lot more energy about them than what we saw in the first half. So let's see if they can carry it on. They've already got the 2 inside 50s in this third quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
2.5 minutes played. Macca's time clock. Third quarter for STY Medals. That's a 16-point lead here still to the Wangaratta Magpies. Strong tackle there from Willie Wheeler. Spills out to Ellis at half-back. His kick was partially smothered. Clark not able to get an effective disposal. Matt Kelly is for the Pies, who kicks it down the broadcast wing. Anderson, who's moved forward up against Casey, who fists it over the boundary line brilliantly. And we get a stoppage. Toss back into play. 60 around for the Pies goal. Pretty much right in front of Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters. And Sky, was there a little bit of rain falling before, or am I seeing things?
No, not that I can feel underneath all these layers. I think with the beanie edition, I've got not much skin showing, so I've not felt any rain, no spitting as of yet.
Looks like Casey's gone into the back half for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and Fothergill swapped with him into the forward half.
Balding-Young, handballs over the top. Matt trying to find Wheeler. And Harry's happy to take this one across the paint. for a boundary throw-in, so still no score in the third term. Great to have your company for STY medals. 6-7-43 the home side, Wangaratta to Yarrawonga 4-3-27. Boundary throw-in, 60 metres out from Wang's goal.
Cal Moore doing the ruck work up against Howe. Moore just punches it inside forward 50. Anderson tried to keep it in play. Umpire not buying that one. We're going to have another boundary throw-in. Broadcast side inside 50 here for the Wangaratta Magpies. Still no goal. Early stages of this third quarter for STY medals. It's the Pies by 16 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Panda Escott, Gus McLeod, Brad Freak and Sky Burgess with you. More dangerous in this ruck contest. Taps it down. McVeigh's around this football as well. Going in there hard was Moore. Spills out here to Anderson. Left foot snap on goal. Hits the post. Minor score. Had everything but the finish there from Mark Anderson. The Pies go to 6-8-44. Yarrawonga 4-3-27. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Third quarter. We played 4 minutes, Brad Freak.
Yeah, just the one inside 50 for the Wangaratta Magpies at the moment. They've put Knowles behind, a kick behind the play whenever the Pigeons have got the ball. Sorry, when the Magpies have it in their forward half. So it's going to make it hard for those leading forwards of the Yarrawonga Pigeons to find any clear space with Chris Knowles filling the hole quite regularly.
Wiley kicks down the line for Yarrawonga. He's looking to link up with Williams, and a good fist coming in from Mark Bourdignon. He's the number one spoiler in the competition on average and total as well. He's an absolute superstar. He's Mark Bourdignon. Boundary throw-in back into play, Ovens River side of the ground. Howe's been really good in the ruck. Finds a handball, but it's turned over. Murray waits the recipient. Kicks from 55 for the Pies. Not the best kick. It's across the face for a minor score. Indecisive between trying to hit the coach Reid and kicking for goal. And after all that, it's a minor score to Wangaratta. 6-9-45, 4-3-27. Wangaratta lead the Pigeons.
Gus McLeod, Panda Escott with you for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Casey and Anderson were just wrestling off the ball, and Morey just marked it. Good play. He plays on straight away. Fronfelder down the wing, looks inboard. Beautiful kick, finds Wilson. McVeigh decked him. Absolutely crunched him 50 metres, and this will take him to the tooth of the goal square.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit overzealous there by Liam McVeigh. He just wanted to make a contest, but just went a little bit too hard there. But it was good ball movement from the Pigeons. Probably one of the few times today we've seen them use the ball quickly on the wing and just catch the Magpies out in a little bit of transition, which I think they've got to do if they're going to get themselves right back into this game. And obviously Cam Wilson to get taken right up to the goal line, so you probably put this one in your book now if you like, Panda.
Kicked 8 goals for the year. Regularly hits the scoreboard, does Cam Wilson. He'll kick this from the goal square, and he'll kick the first goal of this third quarter. And just the start Stevie J and the Pigeons would have wanted. He nails it. Great movement, as Brad Sprinkles Freak said before. Daring movement from the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And they've opened the encounter here in this third quarter for STY medals. And on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard, it's 45 plays 33, the Pies by 12.
Just good ball movement there as well. And some of the prime ball winners have started this quarter well for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Wiley's up to 2 disposals. Cam Wilson as well, he's up to the 2 disposals as well. Willie Wheeler's had an early touch in this third quarter, I should say, as well. We know he's had a slow first half, so just get himself into the game and put a bit of his mark onto the footy game as well. So it'd be really good for them. They've also had the 3 inside 50s to 2 in the start this third term as well, the Pigeons.
2-goal ball game favouring the Wangaratta Magpies over the Pigeons. Howe in the ruck. We've got a free kick off the footy.
I think it was a square infringement. I think it was the boundary umpire, Nelson Butterfield, that's called that one.
The Magpies are the recipients. Here's a go for Kelly. Got the ball from Grossman, and they go inside 50. Newton's the target, brought it to ground level. Working hard is Urquhart, got the ball back to Casey, and he just pumps it out of defence. High up and under, works okay. Willie Wheeler couldn't quite get there on the outstretched attempt. Boundary throw in front of the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Wangaratta lead, 6-9-45. Yarrawonga, 5-3-33. We've played 7.5, almost 8 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
It was like a boundary rider at Headingley. Diving for that catch was Willie Wheeler. Steve Smith took a couple of rippers last night, didn't he? Toss back into play. Matt Kelly just burrowing his way through that contest. Comes out here to Warner, who hand passes it on to Murray Waite. He can steady from 40 and nail a steel line goal today for the Pies. Brilliant play from the stoppage. A ripping finish from Murray Waite. And he gets the important answer for the Wangaratta Magpies. They lead by 18, and there's a wrestle happening off the ball, Gus McLeod and Brad Freak.
Yeah, I believe it probably the two that have been going at it for most of the day. I think it was Willie Wheeler and Dan Saunders. Definitely Dan Saunders, but Mark Anderson has just dropped Cam Wilson in the middle of the ground as they're moving back there. Silly free kick as well. So just all the boys are at the defensive forward end of the ground for the Magpies, and they've got to run back now to get into the back half for the Pigeons.
So we won't ball it up. It'll be a free kick to Wilson to restart proceedings. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Murray waits, put the Pies back out to a 3-goal lead. Yarrawonga go inside, attack to the club room's end. Leroy's the target. He brought it to ground level. Masters is there, and so is Wiley. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Very ill discipline there from Mark Anderson. And Coach Ben Reid won't be a fan of that.
No, certainly not. After kicking a really nice goal to get yourself that back out to that 18-point lead and just give away a silly free kick in the middle of the ground. Obviously, there's a few emotions are running hot out at the moment, but just need to keep a cool head sometimes in the game.
Yarrawonga yet to kick back-to-back goals in this contest. They're going to have to do it once or twice today if they want to hit the front. Out of bounds for a boundary throw-in front of the can bar here at the Normins Oval. 51-33, the Pies lead the Pigeons.
What's happening off the ball with Dan Saunders? He was getting into Willie Wheeler when he dropped that mark earlier. Mark Wiley came in and gave him a bit of heat, so a lot happening off the ball at the moment.
9 minutes gone, third term for STY Metals. Great to have your company on O&M Live. Howe took it out of the ruck, kicks up towards Conway. He's closely marked by Van Berlo. Saunders has got to get a handball away. Wilson tracks it now for the Pigeons, got taken high. He stuck the arm out, did Fraser Ellis. It collected a Yarrawonga Pigeon in Cam Wilson on the way through, and Cam will have a set shot. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, Wilson's one for the Pigeons is really trying to get him going here. He's going to come up for his 4th disposal in this third quarter already, and potentially his 2nd goal in those 4 disposals as well. So he's really pushing hard for the Pigeons. Wiley's up to 2 as well. Just a little bit over, just a clumsy free kick there by Fraser Ellis, but definitely there, the free kick given away. Kicking from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Looks like in the trees the breeze might have dropped a little bit, so he may be able to make the distance.
It was clever from Wilson. It was a professional free kick. The Pigeons need this. Cam for his 2nd in 4 minutes. He loves it. Lets a few of the Wangaratta players know what's going on. Cam Wilson's kicked 2. And the Pigeons, they've kicked 2 in the third term. Back to a 2-goal ball game for Harvey Norman betting.
Bit of lip there as well from Cam Wilson. He runs back to middle of the ground. Looks like he's directed towards Michael Newton. So no love lost out there at the moment between these two sides. As we touched on, Cam Wilson trying really hard for the Pigeons in this third quarter. Already up to 4 disposals, and 2 of them are goals. So he's taking full impact when he does get the footy in this third quarter.
3 of the last 4 goals for the Yarrawonga Pigeons since Ben Reid put the Pies in front by 22 points. So they've forced their way back into this contest. Made it. Matt Kelly just got a hand pass away in a nick of time. He would have got caught holding the ball. Porter just extracts it and then hand passes it forward 20 metres for the Pies. Melksham did really well to give it back to Porter. Edge of 50, tumbles one forward. Not able to get down there was Moore. Picks it up, hand passes it to Cam Barrett, who finishes for the Pies. Instant reply, something from nothing. And the Pies put the margin back out to 18 points on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
Just a costly slip over by Jordan Urquhart right in front of goals there. Let Cal Moore swoop on it uncontested and give the hands out to Cam Barrett. He was running into an open goal there and just kicked the easiest of goals. It just slipped over at the worst time possible there for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
Around the grounds, thanks to our good friends at Harvey Norman betting. Panda in this game here. Wodonga kicking away 45-9. Lavington 35-29. That score has not changed since half-time, and the Albury Tigers are kicking away 56-8 at the Albury Sports Ground. 57 plays 39 here at the Norm Minns Oval, and Wheeler got taken without the footy. Here's a go now for Mark Wiley for Yarra. Kicks inside forward 50. Not the best kick to Masters. Well done, Grossman. Morey gathers the footy now for Yarrawonga. Shimmies and shakes, lowers the eyes, and good kick. Finds its way to Will Robinson, who plays on, kicks into the pocket. It's a dangerous kick, but it works out okay.
Hempel.
It's Maxi Hempel who's marked the footy. Panda well spotted. He'll go back and have a set shot. 25 metres out, slide angle. Don't reckon we've called Max's name today.
No, well, Freaky wouldn't be doing his stats, no offence to Max, but this is where it might not be your day, but I tell you what, it can be your moment. And if he can go back and finish this one, as Liam McVeigh limps to the bench, we'll get Sky to watch that one.
Hempel for the quick reply. It's just going to sneak in. He made the goal umpire work. And in the 13-minute mark of the third term, we've had 5 goals here in the big clash between the Pigeons and the Pies. It's back to a 2-goal ball game.
just a real shootout at the moment. It's just going to be able to what team can then get the second goal in a row. So we've seen throughout the day that Yarrawonga haven't been able to kick the 2 in a row, so they really need to get the next one and just keep building a bit of momentum in this game, because their intent in this third quarter is a lot higher than what it was in the first half. So really, really good. Whatever they've done at halftime has really come out and sparked them in this third quarter.
57 plays 45 thanks to STY medals. Goal for goal here at the Normins Oval. Not a strong crowd, but they're boisterous at the moment and loud. It's pretty cold and miserable here at the Wangaratta Normins Oval. Cal Moore just got pushed off the footy. Wiley's lifting. Wilson certainly is. Socketers it off the ground. Gains about 40 metres for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Here's Conway. Ekes out a hand pass looking for Wilson, who slipped over. Wiley trying to bust through a couple of tackles. Sharrock did well. Yes, they certainly are, gentlemen downstairs. Wheeler. Hand passes to nobody in particular. Robinson. Oh, crunch there was Harry Wheeler. Probably should have been pinged holding the ball. Mason Ring says, give it to me. The intensity's lifted. Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters.
It really has. The crowd is starting to get into it here. I think I'm going to need to chuck on a referee shirt myself. There's words being said between the benches. It is really getting heated down here.
Harry Wheeler is going to come from the ground with blood. Sky will get you to keep an eye on that one. Around the grounds, 40 winks. Lavington 4-11-35. The Rovers 5-5-35. So 35 apiece, and Lavington have had a lot more looks going inside forward 50. We played 15 minutes here for Maccas. Moore's in the ruck. Fists it forward for the Wangaratta Magpies, tracking this one. Warner's there. Good work by Robinson, and he got dispossessed of the footy. Had to be clean up. Jackson Clark's the recipient of the free kick. True centre wing broadcast side. He wants to get the Pies moving, and that's what he does. In towards the hot spot, out the back. Reed's tracking it. Morey's there. Got to be clean, and he's happy to handball across the line for a minor score. Good work there from Logan Morey.
Yep.
8-10-58. The Wangaratta Magpies to Yarrawonga 7-3-45. That's on the ST White Medals scoreboard. And thanks to Harvey Norman Betting as the sponsors flap all over the shop.
A little bit of wind coming into the bird box here at the Normins Oval. Newly renovated, reinvigorated bird box, which is what we love. A 13-point lead here to the Wangaratta Magpies over the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Brad Freak, some of the 40 winks numbers.
Yeah, Cam Wilson's coming up for his 6th disposal in this third quarter. He's already kicked the 2 goals as well. Mark Wiley's had the 5 disposals in this third quarter as well. They two are really pushing the charge for the Pigeons in this third quarter. And Logan Moore, who I'm not taking, I think's really stepped up in this third quarter as well for the other Pigeons, I should say.
Jesse Smith got wrestled there, and he's won a free kick for a high. It's against Kyle Tyson, who cannot believe it, on the Ovens River side of the ground. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on 3E's O&M Live, or of course O&M Optus TV. Logan Cartwright and Lukey Chilcott putting together a wonderful product for you. Climbing high there was Juice, who got very high for the Wangaratta Magpies. Couldn't bring it to ground. Ryan Bruce hand passes it to empty head. His kick was smothered. Good pressure by the Wangaratta Magpies forwards. And it'll be tossed back in 30 around from their goal. Inside 50 numbers, please, Brad Freak.
In this third quarter, locked up at 7 apiece, so both teams have been able to have enough footy go forward. Just good little pressure back there by Ben Reid as well, getting that smother on and keeping the ball inside the 450. No good, Gus. No good. Would have heard about it by now.
Well done, Freaky.
That's flattering.
We had the, for those that are playing along at home for the first time, we won the meat tray a couple of weeks ago, and the winning ticket is ticket number 37897, and they're not our numbers.
We're about 100 behind that one, Gus.
So maybe Sky Burgess,
really flat,
who come in about 20 minutes behind us. She might be the winner. Ball's in dispute, in defensive 50 for the Pigeons. Good work by Cam Wilson. Burrows his way through, and will ball the footy up 50 metres out from Wangaratta's goal. 58 plays 45. Harvey Norman Betting scoreboard. Yarrawonga would love another goal here, Panda, just to bring the margin back to 7 points.
Cam Wilson almost single-handedly keeping the Yarrawonga Pigeons in this contest at the moment. Here's Luke Saunders, lovely left leg, kicks into the pocket, not a great kick out of bounds on the full. 17 minutes played, Macca's time clock, third quarter for STY Medals. Game definitely in the balance here at the minute. The Pies holding on to a 13-point lead. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, as we touched on, really level in the inside 50s in this third term. 8-7 in favour of the Magpies at the moment. As you touched on there, Cam Wilson up to 6 disposals in this third quarter, 5 to Mark Wiley as well. They're the two really leading the charge for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
Pendergast takes the Pigeons out to the Ovens River side. Casey couldn't quite regain that one. And we'll cross boundary side for Waters to Sky Burgess, and looks like Harry Wheeler's come back on the ground with a bit of strapping on his head.
Yeah, he just had what appeared to be like a split eye, so they've just bandaged up his head to stop the bleeding, and he's back out there. Liam McVeigh for Wangaratta also, he just was feeling around his knee, run it off, and he's gone back out as well.
Murray Waite did really well to win an important 50-50 contest and kick on the lead to Juice Newton. Hasn't had much of it today, Juice, but one thing for sure is he loves kicking drop punts from this end of the ground, and he'll line up from 40 metres out on a pretty tight angle.
Really like the game Murray Waite's putting together as well. He's just having high impact on that high half forward and the wing area for the Magpies. I think in the last month or 6 weeks, he's really coming into his role that he's coming into the side, obviously coming across from Myrtleford last year.
Juice Newton hasn't had too many looks today. Drop punt on the way, and it's across the face through for a minor score. So the Pies owning the territory and all the scoring shots here in the last 6 or 7 minutes, but they haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. 8-11-59 to Yarrawonga 7-3-45. It's a 14-point lead to the Pies on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard, ticking up towards the late stages of this third quarter.
Here it comes, boys. The rain is starting to come.
Oh, dearie me.
Everyone's starting to move things under the shelter.
And a 50-metre free kick as well. Gus McLeod.
Sky, boundary rider privileges allow you to get under the shelter as well, so make your way under the
one of those
gazebos
marquees
down there. There's only 3 of them, so I'm sure you'll find a spot.
The lovely trainers from Wangaratta did offer me a spot. They said if it starts raining, you're more than welcome in our tent.
How nice is that? Sharrock, hands on the footy. 40 winks disposals for Dan, please, Freaky.
He's had 19 and Jackson Clark's coming up for 16.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's why he's the best in the business. Brad Sprinkles, freak. Inside 50 go the Pies via Grossman and Reed. Second bite of the cherry, couldn't bring it to ground. Here's a go now for Whooper Irvine. Underground handball trying to find Morey. And Slim Shady happy to take that one across the boundary line for a throw-in.
Really like the game. Logan Morey in this third quarter. He's really stepping up for the Pigeons. The number of times he's been deep in defence and then he's been right in the deep in the forward half as well. His work rate is really starting to stand out because you can see him clearly, Gus, with that bleach blonde hair running around the ground.
Easy to spot.
And Darcy Melksham as well. Lockie Howard did brilliantly in the ruck contest as well, just to take it out of the ruck and gain 20 metres. Williams tapped it down beautifully to Willie Wheeler, who's getting tagged heavily. Saunders brought him to ground, but Willie Wheeler just got his kick out of the way. Beautiful kick from Masters. Finds Bailey Fronfelder. There's an open 50. No one in the goal square. Fronfelder sets sail. Einspawn's first there. He snaps it over his shoulder. Kicks it very, very high. Contest. And it's fisted over the boundary line for a throw-in inside 50 for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, who trail by 14, 59-45 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
Really important last 5-10 minutes of this quarter here. If the Pigeons can get another goal and get it under 10 points, going with the breeze into that last quarter, they're going to think they're a massive chance coming home in this game.
Haven't had a goal since the 13-minute mark when Hempel brought the margin back to 12 points. The Pigeons are in attack, but Sharrock exits defensive 50. Well done by Casey, slapped it forward, but it's straight to Reed. Reed from a standing start, kicks inside forward 50 to make a career as a punter, Benny Reed. Logan, in fact it's Bruce, tracks this one into defence, waits for options, dangerous kick, slips catch, Pando, has he been paid the mark? He hasn't. And Warner, just jotting on the spot, wraps up a big tackle. I reckon he might have taken the mark there, Freaky.
It hit the ground.
Oh, well spotted.
Yeah, it hit the ground about a second before he marked it.
Third umpire, Sky Burgess, did brilliantly well. It was Reed Clark, the late inclusion, diving for that football. Desperate play here. Will O'Keefe was brought off the contest there. I reckon he's won a free kick, Sprinkles.
Yeah, he has. He's probably a little bit unlucky there, the Pigeon who gave away the free kick. He tackled him and he had the footy, but as he tackled him, he actually let go of the footy and then he brought him to the ground, and the umpire who was behind the play called the free kick. It was there. The officiating umpire in the area wouldn't have seen it through the bodies in front of him, but it was definitely there. A little bit unlucky there by the Pigeons.
So he's played 5 senior games in 2023, has Will O'Keefe from their junior program, comes in and nails a hugely important goal. A steal line goal that a contender. The margin's back out to 20 points. 65 plays 45 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Late stages, third term. A cool finish from O'Keefe.
Yeah, big goal there for the Magpies. Gets the lead back out to 20 points. Just when the Pigeons thought they might have been able to get another goal and get it into single digits. So really big work there by Will O'Keefe. He's done a few really nice things in the forward half today. I think you can see why he's in the side for the Magpies. Brings good pressure, has a little bit of craft about him. So it's good to see him get on the scoreboard.
Quarters have gone 27 minutes in the first and the second, boys. So I reckon we've still got about 5 minutes to go here. Clark gets the ball going for the Magpies up towards half forward. Tracking this one is Kelly. Falls the way of him now. He kicks on goal and Bader. It's to the left-hand side for a minor score. So the Magpies move to 9-12-66. Yarrawonga 7-3-45. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Geez, the Pigeons would love one before three-quarter time, Pan.
They would indeed for the Old Town and Country Tavern here on 3E's O&M Live. Great contest here between these two powerhouses in the SSNA, Ovens and Murray, as Robinson kicks to an attacking half of the Pigeons. It doesn't have too many bodies in it. On ground level was Fronfelder. Spills out here to Grossman, who just hand passes forward 20 metres there for the Pies. Knowles, his hand pass was intercepted once again by Robinson, who's having a good third quarter. Spills out here to Barrett. The rain is tumbling down, teeming down here at the Normans Oval at the moment. And I reckon Sky Burgess boundary side will make her way under that marquee that you were offered only a few moments ago, Sky.
Yeah, I beat you to it. I'm already under here, warm and toasty.
Around the grounds, Harvey Norman betting 47-36. The Rovers lead the Panthers, Panda, midway through the third term.
Comes here to half forward for the Pigeons. Good fist there from Lukey Saunders, but Wiley picks it up. Look inboard for Williams. Put the 1 min out, and he's going to win a free kick. Inside forward 50, Lee Williams will have a shot. 45 out, slight angle for the Pigeons.
Yeah, definitely there. Bourdignon just had a grip of his jumper there. Always a big wrestle when Lee Williams is in the area, so there's always chance there.
And 50.
Yeah, you can only assume that's going to be for a bit of talk back to the umpire there, so he's going to make it a lay down Mazaire for this one. So big Leroy. I'll get a bit of confidence in the game. He put his second through. He's just as the rain really, really starts to come down here at the moment. So he kicked straight into the goal umpire.
He's kicked it into the goal umpire, Leroy.
Norm McClure down there doing his best work.
Lee Williams, how dare you. But I tell you what, he's brought the margin back to 15 points for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. It was a certain goal. That's his second goal. 66 plays 51. Keeps the Pigeons in it here on our Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We played 25 minutes.
Boundary side for Waters, Sky Burgess.
Yeah, I'm here. The boys really needed that, didn't they? Yarrawonga just needed that goal to keep in there leading into the fourth quarter. Makes it a little bit more catchable for them.
Jane Bunn.
Just check the radar, boys. Fair bit of rain just in this little pocket at the moment. It should pass in the next 5 or 10.
Who needs Carl agendas when you've got Blake Panda Escott?
Weathermatters.org.au.
15-point ball game favouring the Pies. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 6 disposals for Mark Wiley and Cam Wilson in this third quarter for the Pigeons. 3 disposals each for Dane Porter, Jackson Class, Cam Barrett and Daniel Sharrock for the Magpies.
The sun peeking through a grey and gloomy skies at the Normans Oval. Free kick for a push in the back. It's going to go the way of the Pigeons. And it's going to be Ryan Bruce, the recipient. He's going to play on from true centre half back and get the Pigeons going down the outer side. Long raking kick. Big Lee brought it to ground level, made a good contest. Harry Wheeler onto Masters, onto the left boot. High up and under. Back courageously. An ultimate fastener tough nut of the day was Iron Spawn. Whistle, free kick. It's going to be going the way of the Magpies, and the rain is starting to pour down here at the Normans, Pan.
Yeah, looking out the far side, and there's 3 people sitting out there under umbrellas. Look like they are very uncomfortable at the moment under the blankets. On our O&M Optus TV, you'll be able to see that one as the Magpies kick down the Ovens River side of the ground. It's howling down here at the moment. The wind's picked up, the rain's picked up. Don't you love footy in July, Gus McLeod at O&M Live, and don't you love this reinvigorated bird box?
Yeah, I do. Sky Burgess, weather conditions at boundary level?
Yes, I can confirm it's very windy. It's very wet. It's going to be conditions that the boys have to adjust to now with a wet ball.
Elite work from you there, Sky. Boundary side for Waters. Hope you're enjoying today's call. Brad Freaks on the 40-wing stat sheet. Sky Burgess, boundary side for Waters. Blake Panda Escott and myself, Gus McLeod with you. For the Old Town and Country Tavern, it's the Pies and the Pigeons on O&M Live. And Sharrock sits under this one. Works its way now to Harry Wheeler. Matt Kelly amongst the action. And a little 40-wings disposal there for Mark Wiley as he toe pokes it out of bounds for a boundary throw in, Bradley.
Yeah, Willie Wheeler's got a bit busier in this third quarter. Only had the 5 disposals in the first half. He's had 5 disposals in this third quarter. So he's up to 10 for the game. As there's a rainbow crossing the ground,
Beautiful
boys.
rainbow.
10-point lead to the Rovers over the Panthers. Panther 40 winks.
And Logan Cartwright, the photographer next to us, he would love to snap one right now at the Normans Oval. Ball at ground level. Lots of players around this pack. Half forward here for the Magpies. The Pigeons flick it out by hand. Iron Spawn's just going to kick the absolute space here. Centre wing. Getting a bit of feedback downstairs. McVeigh and also Conway over this football. Conway wins it out. Free kick well off the ball here.
Oh, Mason's found one here, Panda.
100 metres off the play is Mason. There's a free kick here to the Pigeons. It's Lee Masters. In fact, no, he has to hand it over to Robinson. Then the umpire. Conway, sorry, I should say. 15-point lead here to the Pies. 66 plays 51. Can't be long left in this third quarter. As Conway kicks it, hangs a long time in the air. Chest marked here by Casey. He's 55 from home. He's got a big, long right leg. Williams gets to the front position. Wheeler roves it, snaps it, and... oh, it's across the face for a minor score. Danger signs here for the Pies. They need to hang on. Late stages, third quarter. The Pigeons 8-4-52. The Pies 9-12-66. Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We've played 29 minutes.
So both quarters have gone 27. But we've had 6 goals in this game. In fact, I should say 7 goals in this term. And Wangaratta kick long down the Ovens River side of the ground. It falls out the back. Empty head. Pendergast is going to have time to gather. He's going to weigh up his options. Opts the kick inboard. Harry Wheeler onto Bruce. Bruce kicks across his body. Not the best kick. Masters dropped the wet footy. Cam Wilson gathered and got pushed in the back. The umpire saw it that way. So it's a free kick to Yarrawonga. Can't be long to go on the third term. Cam Wilson's the recipient. Kicks out wide. It's a good-looking kick. Wiley's too far. He's tied up on the paint of the boundary line. 55 from home. Chips into the pocket and Masters. He might be in range here, freaking. In fact, he lowers the eyes to Fothergill. Poor marking from the Pigeons, or from the Magpies, I should say. And really efficient kicking from the Pigeons.
Just really smart ball use as well, because Chris Knowles had drifted back in to fill the hole in front of Lee Williams, but left a little bit of space up in front of him. So for Wiley to find Masters and then Masters to find Fothergill, it's really, really clever ball use for him. Just got to chip through rather than bomb along on top of your big forwards in the moment for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
24 goals before today, Nick Fothergill, and he kicked one in the first quarter. It was a steal-on goal that a contender. The Pigeons need this one for back-to-back goals, kicking to the club room's end. He chips into the pocket and he finds Fraunfelder. Left all alone, and the left foot skillster. He'll have a perfect view at this one, but he won't be able to run off his mark.
Wow. Okay.
He'll have to kick a snap, and he won't be able to run around. He's tied up in the pocket.
I think he's asking whether he can actually start from inside and then run back to where he actually marked the ball.
Yeah, start from outside it and not cross the line, but he can stay on the same line. So
he'll have,
which is a new rule.
Bugger all to work with here, Fraunfelder. In comes the snap from Basil. He's hit the stick. Bailey Fraunfelder's hit the post. And at three-quarter time, we've got a game of football on our hands in the grand final rematch. Wangaratta lead, 9-12-66 to Yarrawonga, 8-5-53. Stick around because the final quarter is going to be an absolute ball terror. You're listening and watching O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
All clear.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
I'm here at the Normins Oval. We've got a ball game on our hands. It's a 13-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies, 66-53 over the Yarrawonga Pigeons. That quarter had everything. 7 goals, no back-to-back goals. And I tell you what, it had a lot of rain and wind as well. Sky Burgess is down on the boundary. We'll get to her soon. Brad Freak, who are our Optus quarters best, please, in that third term?
Yeah, on the third quarter for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, I had Logan Morey. I thought his work rate was really good up and down the ground. And for the Wangaratta Magpies, the Optus quarters best I thought was Murray Wade. Again, a very similar role to what Logan Morey was playing, working up and down the ground, being in defensive half, and then right up the ground in the forward half as well. If we have a look at the 40-wing stat sheet, the inside 50s levelled out for that third quarter a little bit. Magpies had 12, Yarrawonga had 10. Marks inside forward 50, the Yarrawonga were able to find 4 marks inside forward 50, but some of the prime ball winners got busy for the Pigeons. Mark Wiley had 7 and Cam Wilson had 8 and kicked 2 goals as well in that third quarter. He was outstanding for the Magpies side of things, just a little bit quieter from their ball winners. Jackson Clark and Dan Sharrock, only the 3 disposals in the third quarter.
Sky Burgess was in the huddles at three-quarter time. What were the messages from the coaches?
Ben Reid actually was quite a brief talking to. He didn't have that much to say. He spoke a little bit about the discipline of the boys. Obviously, we've seen him give away a lot of free kicks, some resulting in goals. So just to be smart, he said, I don't mind you getting into them, but just be smart about it. They spoke a little bit about the stoppages as well. He just wants them to leave the stoppage quicker, so they're working really hard in there, but they need to be quicker to get out and get into their positions. He just finished with who wants it more, really. They know what today is about. They know what it means. So he just G'd them up and said, you got to want it.
Elite work once again. Comprehensive from Sky Burgess, dominating on the boundary today for Waters amongst pretty ordinary conditions. I'm going to ask everyone in the box, and of course Sky, who wins from here. 13-point lead at three-quarter time to the Pies. Brad Freak?
Yarrawonga.
You reckon the Pigeons will come back?
With the breeze going in that last quarter, there was enough momentum changes in that third quarter. I think that might be able to get done.
Stick with the Pies.
Sky?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Pies too.
Fourth quarter action for APCO Wangaratta. It's underway here at the Normins Oval. And the first clearance comes to the way of Willie Wheeler, who tumbles one inside 50. Williams out the back for the perfect start! Lee Williams with a steal line goal of the day, snapping around the quarter. That's what Big Leroy can do. That's his third goal. And inside the first 15 seconds, the Pigeons have got the margin back to 7 points.
One thing we haven't seen all day, we saw there is Willie Wheeler getting a free centre clearance in the middle of the ground, hitting Lee Williams in a bit of space, and a beautiful right foot finish by the big fella there, Lee Williams, in the forward half, kicking 3 goals today now. Perfect start for the Pigeons. Only a 7-point deficit now with only not even a minute gone, so this game's red hot at the moment.
Well called, Blake Escott and Brad Freak right on cue saying the Pigeons are coming. They've responded in spades. Back up in the centre once again. Howe's been good in the ruck. He might get done here for holding the footy. Umpire says no. We'll have a restart. 66 plays 59. The Magpies lead the Pigeons. For APCO Wangaratta, great to have your company on O&M Live. Football spills out to the outer side. Harry Wheeler finds brother Willie. Now he goes to Wiley, onto Irvine by a hand, and Morey going to have to gather. A tricky ball here, but it beats everyone. Go out of bounds for a boundary throwing. True centre wing out of side.
It's going to be a real territory battle, I feel, in this last quarter with the greasy conditions now and with the breeze going one direction. It's not going to be pretty football. It's just going to get some territory and just keep it in there and keep it hemmed in your forward half when you do have it in there.
So the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard, the Pies by 7. 66 plays 59 as the Pigeons go back into attack again. One-handed effort there, almost marked it, was Conway. Well done there by Dylan Van Berlo. Out of bounds and deliberate. A free kick here to the Pigeons. They certainly wanted it. And Mason said deliberate. And Fothergill's going to bring it back in for the Pigeons. Sit it into the hot spot towards Williams. Out the back, Fronfelder. He's always dangerous. Willie Wheeler there as well for the Pigeons. Ironspawn fighting hard. Desperation from both sides. McVeigh just dived on the footy. The umpire's circling and he's caught holding the ball. A free kick here to Yarrawonga, 30 metres out directly in front. And it's in the hands of Harry Wheeler.
Harry Wheeler's really stepped up in this last quarter, in the second half as well for the Pigeons. He's been outstanding. Obviously got the knock to the head earlier with the headband on, but he's been really, really strong for the Pigeons today. He's been really one of their better contributors with his brother, who's been held really tightly by Dan Saunders.
Couple of big calls from umpire Mason Ring within a space of 30 seconds, Panda.
Harry Wheeler, he's got the headband around the skull. Comes in 30 metres out directly in front, and he's just pushed it to the right-hand side. He puts his head back. He's angry with himself, Wheeler. Minor score. The Pies breathe a sigh of relief. A great start to this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. 9-6-60 Yarrawonga. The Pies 9-12-66 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard.
One straight kick is all that separates these two great football clubs. Williams with courage. Ultimate fast and a tough. None of the day contender. Handballed back into defence for the Magpies. It's Mark Anderson. He links up now with McVeigh. Kicking from a standing start. Long down the line, Tyson. Got a fist on that one, brought it to ground level. Whooper Irvine snaps across his body with a high up and under. Falls the way of Wilson, clean bowled him. Matt Kelly and Ironspawn joining the party. And the umpire blows the whistle, will ball the footy up. True centre wing, broadcast side.
Just get Sky to keep an eye on Harry Wheeler, who just came off the ground then with looks like a little bit of a knee knock.
Yeah, he's grabbing at it. He's just seeing the trainer now. They'll do some work on him and I'll let you know.
Great work, Sky, for Waters. Here's a go for Mark Wiley. True centre wing. Kicks in towards half forward. Fothergill had to play taller than what he was. Here's a go for Frontfelder. Frontfelder to the big sticks! Steel line goal of the day from Basil. It's all square at the Norm Mins. And this is what these two footy clubs produce time and time after again. Brilliant games of football. And Mawson's concrete player of the day from Yarrawonga scores a level at the Norm Mins.
In the second half, as soon as the Pigeons have been able to get any speed on the footy, they've been able to look so much more dangerous there. Just quick kick forward, give Williams first use of the footy. Nice little handball, composure, rather than turn around, just bomb it long. Found Basil Frontfelder running into an open goal and a beautiful left foot finish that we've seen, and quite the celebration that we've come to accustom to as well.
That was as good a celebration as you'll see in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. And the loudest roar you've heard at the Norm Mins Oval. The Pigeons have kicked the first 2 goals inside the first 5 minutes. Scores level. This is what we've come to see from these two sides. Beautifully called from Gus McLeod. Another stoppage around 70 metres from the Yarrawonga Pigeons goal. It'll be tossed back into play. Certainly lifted have the Pigeons. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Through Williams, he's kicked a couple. And Basil Frontfelder with a long-range finish. Toss back into play. Howe getting on top in the ruck. Sharrock thought he was held without it. Umpire said no. McVeigh picks it up here for the Pies. Left foot tumbler. Big fist there from Tyson. Back to a dangerous position. It's all Pigeons. Morey's had a fantastic day. comes through and puts it on the right boot. 3 fly for the Pies, and Saunders at ground level's been wrapped up there from Willie Wheeler, who absolutely crunches him, and Gus McLeod, didn't he love it for the Old Town and Country Tavern?
He's been worn like a glove, Willie, and he kicks in 50 to Williams. Big Leroy doesn't need a break stride when Willie Wheeler puts it on the silver platter like that.
Yeah, Willie Wheeler's really stepped up in this last quarter. Already had the 4 disposals for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Been outstanding. 5 inside 50s to none in the first 6 minutes of this last quarter, I should say. And big Leroy Williams looking to put the Yarrawonga in front for what I would think probably be the first time today, Gussie.
Certainly would. Freaky Leroy kicks on goal. Take a bow, Lee Williams. He's kicked 4. And the Pigeons hit the front for the first time today. Calmore goal in the first minute of the game. And that was the last time the Pigeons were anywhere near the front of the ball game. Like a Wangaratta, Sky Burgess, Yarrawonga are up and about.
It's absolutely amazing. The crowd down here is roaring, getting into it. This is the kind of finals footy, that environment. We love to see it. I've just kept an eye on Harry Wheeler. He seems all right with his knee. He's been walking it out. They've not done anything to it. He was actually bleeding out from his bandage, so they've had to re-bandage his head as well.
Beautifully worked there from Sky Burgess on the boundary for Waters. 4 goals in a row for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 3 to start this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. 3 goals in 5 and a bit minutes. The Pies just need to get their hands on the football here. Dane Porter wins the free kick, hand passes it off to Clark, and Grossman's hand pass was a shocker. It was turned over, and here come the Pigeons. Marking it half forward was Lee Williams. He's got no one inside forward 50. He wanted to try and play on, and he's been called for 50. Brad Freak for 40 winks against Bordenyong.
Yeah, he just went to get up and wanted to play on quickly. He had Lee Williams and Bailey Frontfelder, Lee Masters, I should say, and Bailey Frontfelder as he walks into an open goal and puts the goal through for a 12-point lead. But yeah, Bordenyong just grabbed onto his leg. He was trying to get up. It clear as day, 50. Just held him back from playing on the ball. Correct call from the umpire. And momentum certainly shifted here, right in the favour of the Pigeons. The second half, they've been all over him. But the Magpies need some of their prime ball winners to get back in the game. Since half-time, Dan Sharrock's only had 3 touches. Jackson Clark's only had the 4. Dane Porter's only had 4 touches as well. So they need some of their A-grade midfielders to get right back into this game if there's any chance to get back in front and take over the Pigeons.
5 goals from Lee Williams. And on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard, it's now a 12-point lead to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 12-6-78 to the Pies, 9-12-66.
The Pigeons have kicked 5 on the fly, and Willie Wheeler gets him into attack once again. Conway sits under this footy, can't gather the wedge. Sharon spills out now to Fothergill. Handballs over the top. Whistle, free kick. It's going to go the way of Fothergill. Talk us through this one, Brad Freak.
Yeah, just as he handballed the ball off, he was just held on to there. I can't see who the Magpies play. I think it was Luke Saunders, and just held him off the play.
Fothergill kicks fat side. Williams in a 2-on-1. Brings it to ground level. Spilling around on the goal line. Is it through? Frontfelder's missed. Minor score. 13-point lead to Yarrawonga. 9-12-66 the Pies. The Yarrawonga Pigeons 12-7-79. It's for Work Locker Wangaratta. 9 minutes gone, Macca's time clock.
Total domination in this quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet. 7 inside 50s to none in favour of the Yarrawonga Pigeons to start this last quarter inside the first 9 minutes.
Out on the far side of the Ovens River side of the ground. Ball in congestion. And there's a free kick here against the Yarrawonga Pigeons, Willie Wheeler. It's going to go to his nemesis, Luke Saunders. So all for the Pies to do here. They have been met by Yarrawonga Pigeons' wave in this last quarter. Porter goes inboard, looking for Grossman. Dangerous kick. It's been turned over. Here's a chance for the Yarrawonga Pigeons against the run of play. Holding the ball, free kick there to Liam McVeigh. He brought down Frontfelder in a nick of time, but McVeigh's been called on to play on here. Not a great kick. It hung a long time in the air, and Williams marks centre wing. The Pigeons by 13.
Kicks inside forward 50, trying to find Basil. Hit him on the chest, and Frontfelder marks. 50 metres out, tied up on the boundary. And he's a little bit slow to get up here, Freaky. He's been working incredibly hard.
Yeah, he's been everywhere in this. Run around and probably get a little bit of extra distance on it before the call play on here too.
Well, he's starting his approach on the boundary line, and Cam Barrett man's the man on the mark exactly on 50. Frontfelder arcs around now. Good-looking kick. It's at the top of the goal square. Pack forms. at ground level. Staying on the ground level is the kick on goal.
Robinson.
It's Robinson who's kicked it, Panda. And it's through the big sticks. Yarrawonga with all the momentum to a game-high lead of 19 points.
It's just changed so quickly here. They had a lot of the momentum in that third quarter, the Yarrawonga boys, but just couldn't get it on the scoreboard, and it just come as an absolute tsunami in this last quarter. 8 inside 50s to none, 2 marks inside forward 50. I don't even think the Magpies at the moment have got the ball past their centre square, the centre half of the ground really at all in this last quarter. They're a bit shell-shocked out there at the moment. Willie Wheeler's the one. He has been tied down all day. He's up to 6 disposals in this last quarter already. He's really the one that's getting the ball moving for the Pigeons.
This is champagne football from Stevie J's man. 5 goals in 10 minutes for APCO Wangaratta. What response is needed from the Pies? Jackson Clark loads up from 50. Not the response we wanted. Through for a minor score. That's probably the first time that the Wangaratta Magpies have had any clear play in their own attacking half in this last quarter. 9-13-67, Yarrawonga 13-7-85. The margin's at 18 points on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Played 11 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Casey out of defence, kicks long. Only one winner in that contest, and it's Callum Moore over Fothergill. Marks on centre wing.
He's been good since he's gone into the ruck. Kicks nicely up towards half forward. Porter. He's 50 from home. Ignores the handball option that was provided by McVeigh. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Doesn't look like the best kick, but Juice! Something from nothing and a 1-on-4. And Juice Newton marks 10 metres out directly in front.
Called that superbly then, Gus. As soon as it was kicked up there by Dane Porter, I thought it was the wrong option. I just saw number 3 or 4 Yarrawonga jumpers in the area, but Newton able just to take one, tap it down to himself and take a nice mark directly in front.
Must kick for Juice to the club room's end. Makes no mistake, and it's a 2-goal ball game. First goal for the Pies since the 22-minute mark of the third term. And Wangaratta, they needed that one oh so dearly. Juice has got one. The Wangaratta Magpies, they're coming back here, Freaky.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're just going to have to get some of those prime ball winners. And in the last couple of minutes, Dane Porter's had a few touches, he's up to 3. Jackson Clark as well has had a few touches as well. He's up to 3 disposals. In this last quarter, Dan Sharrock's the one, though. He hasn't had a touch in this last term. Only had 3 disposals in the third quarter. So if they're really going to get back into this game, they need their best players getting in and around the footy. So Sharrock's one that I'll be looking to try and lift them in this last quarter as well.
We hope you're enjoying Saturday, July 8, O&M Live Indigenous Round action. What a game we have on our hands. Yarrawonga with all the answers so far in this last quarter. Up against the Wangaratta Magpies. It's the Pigeons by 12. Out of the guts, Jackson Clark with another clearance. Moore just dropped it at the last moment. Trying to burrow his way through was Dane Porter. He was wrapped up. 2 umpires look at each other, and in the end, Mason says, I'll have it.
Wangaratta's midfield looks so much more dangerous with the injection of Cal Moore into the ruck, Panda.
Well called by Gus McLeod for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Wilson was just pushed off the football. Fothergill pushing up into the stoppage. His kick was partially smothered, but it might work all right out here for the long leg of Morey. Williams dropped very early, couldn't mark inside forward 50. 1-on-1 between him and Grossman. Masters over to lend a hand. He gave away a high free kick. Down low, picking it up at ground level was Luke Saunders. Wins an important ball there for the Wangaratta Magpies. They still trail by 12 points. 73 plays, 85. 13 played, final term.
The Old Town and Country Tavern. Hope you're enjoying the final term here on O&M Live. Long kick down the line. Van Berlo marks out in front. Freaky inside 50s for 40 winks this quarter.
Yeah, 9-2. There's going to be a throw in there, actually. Gussie juggled the mark over the line. So, yeah, 9-2 in favour of the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and we've seen that on the scoreboard. They've been totally dominant this last quarter as well.
So great to have your company on 3&E or Optus O&M TV. Panda, fair few tuning in today to watch Logan Cartwright and Luke Chilcott put together a nice broadcast.
Yeah, over 500 now on the live stream, which is wonderful to see. And, of course, game of the balance on 2AY as well. We'll go around the grounds between Lavie and the Rovers.
Yeah, in that game at the moment, Lavie look like they might be kicking themselves out of 4-17-41 trail. The Rovers 61 trail by 20 points there.
Those blokes cannot buy a goal. Morey, true centre wing out of side. His left foot kick long down the line. Well done by Baldingong. Gets a good fist on that one and it spills out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 73 plays 85. Yarrawonga lead the Magpies for Work Locker Wangaratta. Will cross boundary side for Waters. Sky Burgess. Imagine it's fairly tense down at ground level.
It is. The crowd are really getting into it behind me. It's really lifted the game. You're right, though, Gus. That injection of Cal into the ruck, Cal Moore for Wang, has just made the world of difference. They're winning the ball out of there, and they've kind of stopped Yarrawonga's run that they had going.
Morey, high kick inside 50. Williams, something out of nothing marks. 50, wheels around on the right boot, kicks in the direction of Einspawn. Good work there by McVeigh. Spills to Wiley, dropped it, picked up, snap on goal from Fothergill. And it's out of bounds on the full. Oh, you don't like Basil in those situations. Dangerous across the face, no score. It's a free kick here to the Wang Magpies, who still trail by 12 points. We tick up towards the 16th minute mark in this last quarter. For the Old Town and Country Tavern, here's Gus McLeod.
It's a cracking final term on O&M Live. Shout out to Bretty Anderson and the crew from APCO Wangaratta.
Good burger.
I think Brett's about at Wallen now. He's heading down the highway.
There's still one in the box as well, Gussie.
Don't worry, I'll be giving that one a run at full time. Ball's in the hands of Sharrock. His numbers, please, Bradley, for 40 winks.
He's up to 21. This is his first disposal in the last quarter.
He finds a teammate now in Ellis, true centre half back. Little 1-2 with Sharrock, and the Pies want to attack the corridor. Morey sat in the hole and intercepted beautifully for the Pigeons. Umpire calls him to play on. He's got a Conway all alone. In fact, it's Wheeler. Willie kicks on goal. Does it have the legs? It doesn't. Just got there, but it was across the face to a minor score. 13-point ball game, Panda. Yarrawonga have had their chances, and they keep the Wangaratta Magpies within a big sniff for work locker.
86 plays, 73. 16 played on the Macca's time clock in this last quarter for the best service station in the Galaxy. APCO Wangaratta as Liam McVeigh just tumbles one to centre wing. Casey first there in Pigeons colours. Barrett was clever not to give away a free kick. Wilson picks it up, right foot kick inside 50. Trying to mark on his chest there was Fothergill, but it was a great defensive fist from the Pies. They kick it down centre wing. Anderson puts himself in a dangerous position. He marks, still in his own defensive half. Looks inboard straight away. They got to gun it and go here, the Pies. Kelly fires out to Sharrock. On the Ovens River side of the ground, kicks to a vacant half forward, and Will O'Keefe's mark for the Pies.
That was a sensational kick to send the Pies into attack, and the kick inside 50 was poor. Really good mark from Kyle Tyson on the last line of defence, freaking.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just read the play beautifully. They could see where he was going to go towards Clark and Newton there, and just read it well and took a really strong mark.
Long kick down the line from Tyson was good. Masters slid in and took it on his chest. Between half-back and true centre wing, he kicks down the line, and he finds its way to Fothergill. His numbers for 40 winks.
Coming up for his 16th of the game.
Been huge once again for the Hoops. He kicks out wide, and he finds Will Robinson, Panda, who kicked a big goal in this fourth term, and Robinson kicks the Pigeons into attack.
He does. Big pack forms, and there was a fist in there from Dylan Van Berlo, who just finds a bit of touch, and another boundary throw-in. 60 around from Yarrawonga's goal. Scoreboard reads 13-8-86. The Magpies 10-13-73. If you're just tuning in to the broadcast, the Pies led by 15 at three-quarter time, and the Pigeons kick the next 5 and first important last quarter goals. They now lead by 13. Lee Williams has kicked 3 of those in this last quarter, and he has a bag of goals with 5. So what do the Pies have here? What can they make? Last quarter went for 29 minutes. Big pack at half forward here for Yarrawonga. Lots of players around this football. Kick comes out. That'll bring rain. It pummeled down earlier. Logan Morey with a Mawson's concrete player of the day. And he might be winning something else a little bit later on, Logan Morey. Great mark for the Pigeons.
He's been outstanding in the second half, Logan Morey, for the Pigeons.
Kicks up to half forward. Well done by Barrett. Got a fist into it. Mark Wiley tracks it. Barrett got taken high. Umpire found a free kick. And this is the stage of the game that Wangaratta have got to start playing a really efficient and slick brand of football. The ball's in the hands of one of their best users, Barrett, who's called to play on. The umpire sold him up the river there. Back to Knowles, who kicks out wide. The mark's been taken by Ellis. Between centre wing and half back for the Wangaratta Magpies on the Ovens River side of the ground. 73 plays 86. Yarrawonga lead the Pies. Long kick down the line, falls out the back. Numbers are there. Lovell, he missed it. Wiley, got to get rid of the football, evades a bit of traffic. On to Whooper Irvine, over the top to Morey. Been best on for the Pigeons for mine. Long kick down the line. Saunders is there. Back inboard, that's a nice looking handball to Howe. Howe kicks inside 50. Williams dropped his footing. Then he dropped the footy. On the last line of defence, Grossman and Borniong link up, and it's a high up and under the half forward.
It is. McVeigh floats in. That might come back to bite the Pigeons. Williams dropped an easy chest mark. The Pies got to get it and go here. Clark's hand pass wasn't great. Sharrock didn't want the footy. Ryan Bruce did. Comes through, wins an important one-on-one for the Pigeons. And Bailey Fronfelder just marks and says, boys, there's 20 minutes gone here in this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. I'll take a bit of time off here. Arcs around, left foot kick into the pocket. No one really wanted it there for the Pigeons. Out the back, Williams in a dangerous position. And Fothergill tackles Saunders over the boundary line. It'll be tossed back in, 20 around from Yarrawonga's goal. Doing all the attacking here. Wrong end of the ground if you're a Pies fan. The Pigeons 86, Magpies 73, 20 minutes played, final turn.
Boundary throwing deep into attack. Williams took it out of the ruck. Missed the boot from his shot. Pinballs around at the top of the goal square. Well done by Borniong. Pirouettes and kicks out a defensive 50. Robinson's got Barrett hot on his heels. Taps it in a bit of space. McVeigh's there. Now he's trying to find Barrett once again. Great pickup by Masters. McVeigh, whistle. Throw. Umpire Mason Ring says, Panda, talk us through that.
Yeah, just a throw there against Lee Masters, who's pretty slow to get up as well, and Barrett will have it at halfback.
So Barrett in front of the work locker Wangaratta scoreboard, which reads 73 to 86. Yarrawonga lead the Magpies on O&M Live. They're going to attack the corridor. Ball's in the hands of Borniong.
He hand passes to the running man, Jesse Smith. Off half back, kicks to half forward. Reed up against Tyson. Sorry, it was Moore. Well done by Cole Tyson, who's done pretty well in this last quarter. Little grubber kick off the ground. Howe thought he marked it. Umpire said, not for mine. We've got a stoppage in a little pocket of sunshine here at the Normans Oval. Has not been much of that today at all, Brad Freak, for 40 winks.
No, absolutely not. But Kyle Tyson, as you touched on there, Pandy, just a couple of crucial one-on-one contests in this last quarter. He's won in favour of the Pigeons, and it's really helped him in this last quarter.
Cal Moore down the Ovens River side of the ground, pumps it long inside forward 50. And there's a free kick here to Reed for holding the man here, Gus McLeod. He'll have a shot from 30 out.
It's against Tyson. The hold was there, Panda. Tyson was lost watching the footy come inside forward 50. He grabbed the jumper onto Reed. It's a bit of a safety blanket. Umpire saw it from a mile away.
So this will bring the margin back to 7 points. He'll kick from 35 metres. Not much of an angle. Big moment for the coach here, Ben Reed. He kicked one sublime drop punt earlier today. He keeps it low and he keeps it narrow. Costly miss for the Wangaratta Magpies. Never gave it a chance. And at the 23-minute mark, the scoreboard for Worklocker Wangaratta, 74 the Pies, the Pigeons 86. Gus McLeod for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
3, maybe 4 minutes left at max. As Yarrawonga send the ball to the Ovens River side of the ground. 23 minutes gone, Macca's time clock in the final term. Yarrawonga have been emphatic in the fourth. And they've got their noses in front. 86 plays 74 for Worklocker Wangaratta.
Yeah, in this last quarter, just the Yarrawonga midfield really got going. Fothergill 5 disposals, Mark Wiley 6, and Willie Wheeler's had the 7 disposals in this last quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Ball the footy up once again. Panda, at what stage of the game do you reckon Yarrawonga bring the +1 in?
I reckon they'd probably bring one in now. And if you're just tuning in, remember at 3-quarter time, it was a 15-point margin to the way of the Pies.
Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, in the second half, Willie Wheeler's had the 12 disposals, only had 5 disposals in the first half, was held really well by Dan Saunders, but just found a way to influence the game in this second half.
Give him another one there. Knowles, handballs underground. The Magpies have numbers tied up on the boundary. Whooper Irvine's got a bit of work to do on the last lines. Yeah, and he's happy to take it across the boundary line for a throw-in. 65, maybe 70 metres out, Panda, from Wangaratta's goal. 24 and a half minutes gone. Macca's time clock, 86 plays 74. They need a goal in the next minute, the Pies.
They do. Last quarter went 29 minutes, and we've had one less goal so far, so maybe 27 minutes. Can't be long left. And we're going to have another stoppage. Yarrawonga are doing pretty well just to force extra stoppages and just take time out of this game. 70 around from the Wangaratta Magpies goal, who still trail by 12 points. Ben Reed missing one earlier. Thrown back up. Coming through there with pace was Saunders. The Pigeons win it and grubber it to half forward. Open 50 here, and Conway's caught holding the ball almost. Yep, caught holding the ball. It was a great tackle there from Matt Grossman because Conway was going to set fire, Gussie, from 60 metres.
Had options too. Panda just was indecisive. It was sport for choice. The Magpies take the footy out the outer side. Sharrock doesn't get a favourable bounce, but now he gathers. He's backtracking. He's going to have to switch the footy. The football might open up here. It's in the hands of Barrett. He comes laterally. He finds Grossman at true centre half back. The corridor opens up, but he ignores it and comes out to the broadcast side wing. Jackson Clark, the vice captain for the Pies, comes inboard and finds the right. Kicks to 40 metres out for Wangaratta. Juice flies. Juice marks!
Wow.
Yep.
Mawson's concrete mark of the day from Juice Newton. Casey couldn't get a fingertip in, and Juice will rush his set shot approach. Kicks on goal. Juice kicks a major. Game on here at the Norm Minns Oval. Juice has got 2, and it's a 1-goal ball game. Work like a Wangaratta scoreboard. Game on at the 26-minute mark.
Matt Casey just a little bit flat-footed there, waiting for the ball to come into his lap, and Juice Newton just came over the top of him. Took a really nice mark there to get himself that, and really smart thinking by Juice. Didn't waste any time at all. Went back and put the shot through straight away. As you guys keep touching on, can't be long left in this game. Just ticked over 26 minutes. Have to be 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most left in this game.
Single-digit finishes, yes, Gus McLeod.
Around the grounds for 40 wings, 61-55. The Rovers lead the Panthers.
Single-digit finishes between these two sides. They're just becoming a staple. And this is another wonderful chapter between the Yarrawonga Pigeons and the Wangaratta Magpies.
How's this for a 40-wing stat, Panda? 4 of the last 5 games between these two sides, one team has kicked an exact total of 83 points. Could it be the Pies today sitting on 80 at present?
86 plays 80. If you're just joining us here on O&M Live, Pigeons holding on. Howe out of the ruck contest, kicks to half forward. Conway did well. Open forward line. Williams set sail from 60, keeps it low. It's a foot race, dribbles goalward, and it's through for a minor.
Good point.
A very good point. And smart, crafty play there from Lee Williams. Could be very important. 13-9-87 the Pigeons. The Magpies 11-14-80. We played 27 minutes last quarter.
McVeigh from fullback finds Clark. It's a good-looking kick. The Pies have got to roll the dice, and they've got to roll the dice quick. They come long down the broadcast side wing. Casey out in front, brought it to ground level for Yarrawonga. It's on the desperate times here. Casey takes it out of bounds, and the umpire says throw it back in. Paddy Warner had a bit of a moment there. He thought there was a chance. Boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. Yarrawonga lead by 7 points at the 27-minute mark of the final term.
For APCO Wangaratta, what a wonderful Indigenous round of football. Sharrock hand passes it to Barrett, who works through, and hand passes to Mark Anderson. Set sail on goal. Spills out the back here to Jesse Smith. Left foot snap. It's there! What a finish from Jesse Smith! The Magpies bring the margin back to 1 point. You won't see a calmer finish all day from Jesse Smith. 87 plays 86. And another amazing finish between the Pies and the Pigeons.
Nick Irvine just had a bit of a fresh air. He just trying to kick the ball off the ground there. Went straight through him. And Jesse Smith, what a really smart finish on his left foot in a really tight area. We touched on before, there couldn't be long left. There certainly can't be much longer left now. 28 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter, only a point in it. They've had all the play in this last quarter. The Pigeons have had 13 inside 50s to 5, but the Magpies just always find a way to get back into the game.
Could we see a draw, Gussie?
Strap yourselves in, put your seatbelts on for the best 30 seconds of footy you're going to see in a long time. Yarrawonga by a point. Sharrock wins the clearance inside 50 for the Wangaratta Magpies. Not the best kick. Masters gathers and he kicks long down the line. It's intercepted and it's going to come back quickly via McVeigh. McVeigh kicks to 50 metres out. They need a mark. Big pack flies. Falls to ground level. Stoppage. And we'll ball the footy up 50 metres out from Wangaratta's goal. 1 point ball game. Siren sounds! Yarrawonga hold on in a thriller. 13-9-87 to Wangaratta 12-14-86. Two of the fiercest rivals across the decade in the Ovens and Murray have played out a 1 point thriller.
Wow. That last quarter had absolutely everything. That's the most enjoyable game of football I've seen in a long time in SSNA Ovens and Murray. Brad Freak called it beautifully, didn't he, at three-quarter time? He said the Pigeons would come back. They were 15 points down at three-quarter time. 5 goals to start the last quarter. And wowee, what a grandstand finish, Brad Freak.
Yeah. Freaky's got his headphones off.
He's got his headphones off because he's going to go down and take a photo of our Waters Player of the Day. And I tell you what, you could probably throw a blanket over about 5 or 6 players. Logan Morey will come into contention, Gus. His second half was outstanding. A couple of Yarrawonga Pigeons boys below us who were very happy indeed. Listen to them getting up and about. What a win by the Pigeons.
Timmy Lawrence will get that on TikTok.
I think he will. If you're just tuning in, jumping in your car, or you're jumping onto the live stream, 87 plays, 86. Wow, Gussie, we just got to take a breath and sit back and admire what a wonderful finish we've seen here between these two great clubs.
4 of the last 6 times these two sides have met, Panda, the margin's been separated by 3 points or less. It's a remarkable rivalry these two football sides have. I think Wangaratta started this game as short price favourites, and Yarrawonga have just reminded the competition they are a serious team. They are a threat to the premiership in 2023, and they will take great confidence going 2 games clear of the Pies.
The Pies hadn't lost since the last time they played the Pigeons, which was April the 22nd, back in round 3, and that's their first loss in a very long time. And it's just a reminder from us all, I think, that the Yarrawonga Pigeons, they probably entered in the season as premiership favourites, and they are going to take some serious beating in season 2023.
Around the grounds, full time for 40 winks, the Rovers have defeated the Panthers 9-7-61 to 6-19-55. I tell you what, Panda, that is poor kicking from the Panthers.
We're going to cross boundary side to Sky Burgess, who is with our Waters Player of the Day. Slim Shady itself. It's Logan Morey. What a game from Logan.
I do. I've got him here with me. We've picked you for best on today, mate. You had an absolutely great game. We've seen you take a few really good marks and played outstanding. How does that feel to get that kind of a win, 1 point in it? How does it feel?
It's really good. Like, we obviously set ourselves to this game over the last few weeks. Had a good win in Albury and then tune up last week in a pretty tough game against North Albury and knew this one was coming. So to go out and win like that, it's nice. Separates us from the pack hopefully now. So it feels good.
We've got to say, 3/4 time, I want to know what was said to you during that huddle because you guys come out absolutely firing. What was the message at 3/4 time?
Just more of the same, to be honest. It's if we just bring our contest work and our intensity, we know that that's when we're at our best. So obviously having the win helped, and then we just know that if we stick to what we do best, and we know that we're the sort of side that can run out other sides pretty easily, hopefully. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great game to watch. Congratulations. I better let you go. The boys are waiting for you. Get in there and sing that song.
Wonderful work down on the boundary from Sky Burgess and also Logan Morey, who... Slim Shady. I wonder if he's going to like that nickname that we've branded him as well. He had an outstanding second half. I mean, this was a man, Gus McLeod, who was actually left out of the side at the start of the year. He was actually dropped, I reckon, at about round 2 or 3. He's moved into the forward line. We usually see him as a raking half-back with a lovely left foot, and I tell you what, he is really reinvigorating himself as a half-forward in this competition.
And Stevie J, you've got to throw some credit to him, Panda. He come into this side with a blank canvas. We've seen Fraunfelder become one of the best half-backs in the competition. Now he's got that game. He's got that ability to throw the magnets around. He's got so many tricks up his sleeve, and Yarrawonga are no longer the one-trick ponies, Panda. They've got so many different strings to their bow, Freaky, and that was one of the wins for the ages today from the Pigeons.
Yeah, just to want that versatility in your footy side on all the areas. So if something's not working, you can change it up. We saw that in today's game was a prime example. Obviously, Logan Morey, but Bailey Fraunfelder, one you touched on. First half didn't probably have that much of an impact on the game. Threw into the forward half, and especially in that last quarter, he ran wild in there and just gave him that extra bit of leg speed and was outstanding for the Pigeons today in that last term.
They'll be pretty happy with this one, Panda. Yarrawonga running away victorious, 13-9-87 to 12-14-86. Dylan Conway, he'll be getting a Gatorade shower in the middle of this. We'll try and cross in the rooms for the song.
We'll try our hardest to get the song here.
We're a mighty team at Yarrawonga. At Yarrawonga, we're getting stronger. We're a mighty team at Yarrawonga. Colours! The team of the white and the blue. It's a premiership for Yarrawonga. That's where we're heading. We're getting stronger. You can have all your other teams rolled up in one.
wonderful win, a win from the ages there for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 13-9-87 over the Wangaratta Magpies, 12-14-86. A wonderful game. Indigenous round in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. Stick around. Plenty still to come for our APCO Wangaratta post-game show. Remember, on 3&E's O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.